Eastern Conference Finals come down to a deciding game between the Providence Bruins and Hartford Wolfpack. Hello and welcome, everyone. This is the Hartford Civic Center. This is Game 7. A lot of players might go a lot of their career without seeing a Game 7. What's so special about it, Nordy?
Well, I think it's a culmination of a lot of players. When they think about hockey, they think about a Game 7. And when you look at it, you have to look at the goaltenders. And Jean-Francois Labbé has been here before, down 3-1 twice when he was at Hershey, came back to win the series. 39 saves in Game 6, outshot 15-5, came up with a big third period. Seventh games, you have to look to the goalies, and they're going to have to beat Labbé tonight.
1 week ago tonight, the Providence Bruins won a wild double overtime win. They took what seemed to be a commanding 3-1 lead, but Hartford has fought back. Here's how it happened on Friday night in Game 6 at the Providence Civic Center. It was 1-0 Providence in the first. Brad Smith ties it up with a first period goal, and then it was all Hartford in the second period. Ken Jernander takes advantage of a Providence giveaway and makes it 2-1, and then with a 3-1 lead, Tony Tuzzolino will make it 4-1 as he puts Hartford in command. They would go on to the 5-3 win, forcing the seventh and final game. Desperate hockey sometimes can be the difference in a series. Obviously, the last two games, Hartford has been more desperate.
No question. Tuzzolino got the game winner there, and he'd been benched for the healthy scratch the game before, so that was a huge goal for them. But, it comes once again, they outshoot Hartford 15-5 in the third period, and Labbé was there. He was the difference.
You talk to the two coaches, they will tell you there's nothing like a Game 7. You're thinking about it nonstop for the days leading up to this game, but both coaches say they try to get their players to act like it's any other hockey game.
Well, I think you approach it as another game, but the implications are higher, and you don't have to say much. But my thought is the players that quote-unquote be relaxed and play it like it's another game, so to speak, play the best. And everybody doesn't do that, but if you have guys that do that or have been through it, then I think you have a good chance that they'll play like that.
We're fortunate. Hartford's fortunate. We're in the conference finals. There's only 3 teams left in the American Hockey League, and it's been a great series. We're in a Game 7. Game 7s are they'll give you 2 of the greatest feelings that you'll never experience unless you're in professional sports, and that's winning a Game 7 and losing a Game 7. So both teams will experience one of those today.
For so many of these Providence players, it has been a breakthrough season, spending a lot of time in Boston. Andre Savage became a regular go-to player in Boston. Now he's back in the AHL, and he's a guy they will look to for offensive leadership tonight.
Yeah, he's become a legitimate NHL player, and he has not disappointed in the series. He has 3 game winners, had the goal to bring him back to 4-3 the other night, has 6 points in the playoffs. Marvelously talented player, wins a whole bunch of face-offs, and that can be important in Game 7.
A year ago, Terry Virtue was the top-scoring defenseman for the Providence Bruins in the playoffs. Now he will try to eliminate his former team.
Well, he has 6 points in the playoffs, and you need the veteran defensive presence, and Virtue's so steady, very honest player, excellent in the defensive end, solid on the point, makes that breakout pass. He's been here, he's played exceptionally well all through his career in the playoffs, and he's going to have a strong game today.
Not much difference between these two teams. They have played 6 games, and there is 1 goal difference. Providence scoring 18, Hartford scoring 17. 7 of their last 10 playoff games have been decided by 1 goal. It all comes down to this. Game 7 between Providence and Hartford. The winner goes on to the finals. Face off next on NESN.
Silently streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
faced elimination 4 times. Hartford has 1 to play another day. They will try to make it 5 for 5 and advance to the Calder Cup Finals against Rochester. Meantime, Providence trying to move on to face Rochester in the finals for the 2nd straight year. It'll be the first time in 10 years if that happens. Have the same teams play in back-to-back Calder Cup Finals. There's only been 1 Game 7 in Providence Bruins history. Peter Laviolette played in it. It was 1995 against the Portland Pirates. Assistant coach Bill Armstrong was there with them as well. Providence trailed 1-0 after 2 and scored 6 goals on Byron Defoe in the 3rd period to win it 6-3. John Paddock, meantime, has been to Game 7s as a player, as a coach. The head coach of the Hartford Wolfpack says he's been involved in 6 different Game 7s. And he won 2 out of 3 as a player, 2 out of 3 as a coach. Peter Laviolette estimates that he's won 4 out of 5 as a player and a coach in Game 7s. There you look at John Paddock, who once coached the Hershey Bears to a perfect 12-0 record on the road to the Calder Cup. He won 2 as a coach and 2 as a player. John Paddock, one of only 2 coaches to lead 2 different teams in the Calder Cup. Providence barreling in after, trying to forecheck away. Good battle down there as Drew Bannister took down Aaron Downey, and Hartford breaks out into the offensive zone. Now nice drop pass here. Smith fires, he scores! It trickled by John Graham, and Brad Smith draws first blood, 103 into the game.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a play where they came through center zone, and Providence got a little messed up on the back check. Brandon Smith fired that shot. A lot of traffic in front of goaltender Graham with P.J. Stock coming to the front of the net. And Smith gets that shot. Little pass off to the right side, late on the back check. They don't pick him up, and he shoots the puck off with P.J. Stock coming to the front of the net, bothering Graham. Puck trickles through, 1-0. Smith gets a goal, and Smith's an outstanding hockey player. His 9th goal of the playoffs.
He now has points in 5 straight games, 3 goals and 2 assists. In the 5 last games of this series, Brad Smith, the former American Hockey League MVP, 1996. He was with the Carolina Monarchs, had 126 points in that season. And as you see, he's leading the way. Spoke with him before the game. He was pretty prophetic about this game, Norris. He said Game 7's quite often the deciding game of a series.
Yeah, I heard him. You were going to give him a color job.
I thought he was pretty good. I thought he'd be at least as good as you with those kind of stats.
Well, Providence had a little trouble picking that rush up coming into the zone. They chased the puck area. No one picked up Smith on the right side, and Smith ended up with the open pass. But I think it was P.J. Stock in front of Graham that bothered Graham to point that puck trickled through.
Here's a giveaway. Chris Wells for the Wolfpack turns. He gets it back. Chris Wells just poked off the stick at the last moment on a nice play by Eric Manlow, who hustled back. So momentum Hartford here in the early go to 1-0 lead at home, getting this big crowd into it.
Tom, the other night, I think one of the key spots of the game that was somewhat overlooked, the other night in Game 6, Providence came out tenaciously in the first period, but in so doing, they took 4 penalties in the first period, and they were down 8 minutes. That just kills your momentum, and if you come out with any kind of momentum and any kind of push and drive, and you end up in the penalty box for 8 minutes, that really takes it away from you, and I thought that was a significant part of them not being successful in Game 6, the fact that they pretty much squandered the first period with penalty minutes.
Dwayne Harmer out there quickly ahead for Laxton, and Laxton's shot is stopped by LaBay. Centering pass. He was looking for Landon Wilson. Wilson was tied up and badgered by Klochek. Wilson got it free. Nobody there for Providence. Hartford gets it out to center ice.
Klochek did a nice job there. Tomas Klochek defending right in front of the net, and that was a big defense because that would have been just a tip redirect coming from that centering pass.
Doig and Stock get the assists on Brad Smith's goal at 1:03. Jeff Wells, no relation to Chris Wells. Chris Wells for the Wolfpack, Jeff Wells for the Bruins. Jeff Wells gets it started a week ago. Wells was the hero with a pair of goals, including the double overtime winner.
P.J. Stock, in addition to the assist, did a huge job on the screen.
So the Hartford Wolfpack with home ice advantage by virtue of their regular season title. 107 points during the regular season, icing the call here as Bob Beers got back there. But talked to John Paddock before the game, the coach of the Wolfpack. He says home ice doesn't mean a lot in a game like this, but you'd rather be playing at home than on the road. And that's what the home ice advantage is all about. They won the regular season championship. They would have home ice all the way through the playoffs. Hartford win tonight, they will have home ice against the Rochester Americans. The Amherst, by the way, have been off since last Saturday. 8 days now since the Amherst eliminated the Hershey Bears in 4 straight games with a 6-1 win in Game 4.
I was listening to Dr. Jack Ramsey talking about the Knicks-Miami series, and he was talking about it being a disadvantage to have home ice because too much pressure on you. I'm not sure about that analysis.
Here's P.J. Stock. Taking it down to the right side. Centering pass in front. They tried to set up Daw. Daw has points in 4 of 6 games in this series. Just went off the tip of the stick. Banging it after it. Hartford getting back. Stock has it. Outlet pass. Gets by Bannister. Brad Smith couldn't control. Hartford gets it back at the blue line. Brad Smith has the lone goal. It came just 1:03 into this one. We've now played just over 3 minutes. It's a 1-0 Wolfpack lead. Hartford, of course, the AHL affiliate of the New York Rangers. Providence Bruins, of course, the Boston Bruins affiliate. Friday night's 5-3 win for Hartford snapped a 16-game home winning streak for the Bruins. But they're trying to win this one on the road. Hartford has drawn first blood. They lead at 1-0 in Game 7. For breaking news, NESN is the place to be. From post-game press conferences to major stories from the world of sports, ESPN News is there. With expert analysis and the inside story. 24 hours a day, ESPN News and NESN have your news covered.
That tells it all. Game 7 in Hartford. Hartford leads 1-0 on a Brad Smith goal. Jason Doig and P.J. Stock assisting. That last carry, you saw Henderson coming through center ice. What Providence has to be very careful about, particularly early on in the game, you're down 1 goal. You can't get over anxious and try to overcarry the puck, because what Hartford's going to do, they're just going to trap you right in the middle and send it back on counterattack. You want to be able to keep your poise, keep doing the things that got you here, and not get into a one-man kind of overcarry the puck scheme of offense, because there's nothing but trouble in that kind of play.
Brad Smith is the all-time playoff scoring leader in the 3 years of Hartford Wolfpack hockey. 42 points now in 3 postseason runs. Hartford hasn't had a Game 7 since 1998 when they beat the Worcester Ice Cats 8-2 in the 7th game of that series. However, the first playoff round this postseason, they had to rally from a 2-1 series deficit in a best-of-5 series that went a full 5 games against the Springfield Falcons. Terry Virtue in traffic, tries to get it away. Derek Armstrong hustles back to clear out to neutral ice. Taken into the offensive zone. Johan Vitahall fires one to the wide. On the right, Peter Ferraro throws it out to center ice. Vitahall hustles back, slides it back to Drew Bannister. Drew Bannister, a 6th-year pro. John Graham out playing it in front of his net, trying to catch Hartford on a line change. Gets it to Ferraro. From the blue line, LaBay with a stick save. It pops up high and is taken by Todd Hall. Quick pass ahead to Vitahall. He's got great speed. Vitahall shot. Great, way out to cut down the angle. He makes the save. Dwayne Harper, originally drafted by the Capitals, knocked off the puck. Good hustle here from Aaron Downey. Downey taking it down low. Deep into the right corner. He's knocked down there by Dale Purinton. A couple of the toughest customers in the American Hockey League right there. Manny Malhotra tried to get in after it. Joel Perpick read the play well and got the loose puck in the corner. Purinton and Downey continue to battle. Downey knocked to the rocks. Chris Kennedy came barreling in. Downey showing good composure, though. Discipline so important in a game like this. Icing the call. And the crowd into it with the early physical play from the Wolfpack.
Well, the composure by Downey's good, and that's what you want to see. But what's getting this Hartford crowd into it, you see Downey taking exception to being banged on the boards. He got taken legally on the boards, first on a slide from the point, then another good shot. Now you're going to see Todd Hall go back for the puck, and
that was the touch-up on the ice.
Yeah, a little touch-up on the icing. But what happened in that play was that Downey got banged twice along the sideboards, and you want him to show restraint, but from the other side of the coin, when you see Hartford going after the toughest guy on the Providence Bruins team and really rocking him on the boards, that gets the crowd into the hockey game, gets the crowd back, the tempo on Hartford's side. They've had much the best of it over the first few minutes, Tommy. They seem to have their legs The other night in game 4, they just lost 1 million faceoffs. We've got to do better here tonight, and they won that one.
Here's a quick shot off the draw. Purinton fired it on net. Blocker save for Graham. Rebound comes to the wall. Chris Wells keeps it into the pack. Bob Beers tries to clear it away. Wells takes it back. Chris Wells into the slot. Taken there by the Bruins and brought out. Landon Wilson carries it over neutral ice. Fires a long shot. Manlow gets it to Laxton. Laxton into the corner. Tied up by Todd Hall. Puck comes free to the near side. And played out now by Kennedy. Chris Kennedy had a pair of goals Friday, including the unassisted empty netter. It was 1-1 after one period. Hartford scored 3 straight in the second. And then Providence applied the pressure in the third, cut the lead to 4-3 about midway through the period. An empty netter for Kennedy, put it away.
Yeah, Kennedy's having a great playoff series. That was his 8th goal.
Former Worcester Ice Cat out of Mountain, Minnesota. Todd Hall plays it off to the far wall. Brandon Smith after it. He scored a goal Friday, his first of the playoffs. Go along with 10 assists on the season. 11 points. He's the top scoring defenseman in the entire AHL postseason. First 10 points for assists.
Boy, Hartford's center zone defense is tenacious. Providence cannot move the puck through the middle of the ice by passing it. They're going to have to get across that red line and dump it in.
Puck up and out of play there. Talked to Peter Laviolette before the game. He says 6 games down. You know what? There's not a whole lot of difference between these two teams.
No, even last year, we had it over them, but they had a great hockey team last year. There's a lot of those core players back this year. There's not much at all that separates, and I don't sit here trying to act like the underdog in the series. We're not, but Hartford has a great team, and I think people, they expect a lot of the Providence Bruins, and they should, and we do as well. But you have to give some credit sometimes to Hartford too. They got a great organization, they got a great coach, and good players, and it's been phenomenal hockey.
Can the difference at times? Well, now we've played one period into Game 7, and each team has 18 goals in this series. One game going double overtime. Pretty even series. That's how you get to a Game 7. Here's Vidal carried it in. He left it for Armstrong. Tough angle shot. Graham saw it all the way. He makes the stop.
Yeah, I tell you, though, they're going to have to hustle back a little quicker on the back check than that, because Armstrong had a shot that he actually should not have had. That play should have been defended, but Ferraro was slow coming back on the back check, reaching out with the stick. Now, here's the drop pass. You see Ferraro reach out with the stick. He not able to get the puck, not able to stop the shot. You have to do a better job at this time of the season than allow a shot off a back check like that. You have to be able to deny that opportunity, and they get a shooting opportunity up ahead 1-0 in the game. We don't have a good look. Oh, I can see the time clock there. I can sneak a look through the pipes here. 13:40. We're pretty high here.
Up on the catwalk here at the mall. Former home of the Hartford Whalers, and a great crowd here for the Wolfpack in Game 7 as they try to go for the finals for the first time in the 3-year history of the team.
Well, they've had disappointing crowds through the season and the playoffs, but certainly not so tonight.
Puck out at neutral ice now. Eric Nicholas flips it up ahead. Ferraro lost the handle as he went into the offensive zone, and it's carried out here by the Wolfpack. Thrown over to Vitahall on the left side. Vitahall played the carom nicely. Drops it now. One time. Kick save, Graham. And a nice save off Ken Jernander there, who blasted it. He got barreled into it by Derek Armstrong. Here's a shot wide. The rebound. Graham got a piece of it. Tuzzolino on the rebound. Misses an empty net. It's a shooting gallery out there. Graham with 2 straight saves. One off Klocek, one off Vitahall. The net comes off the boards and sticks are flying.
Well, out of all that mess, I don't understand how Providence Bruins avoided a penalty, because it looked as if Jernander was cross-checked from behind by, I think, Peter Ferraro. Official called nothing, but clearly dominated in the first period of the Providence Bruins by the Hartford Wolfpack. Hartford playing exceptionally well. A shooting gallery in front of John Graham. There you see Armstrong. He's so dangerous when he gets the puck in the offensive end. Vitahall, very clever with the puck, gets that puck over to Jernander. Jernander steps one up. Great save by Graham. Puck goes off the sideboards. Watch this cross check from behind. My goodness. I don't know how that's not a penalty. That was Vitahall, cross-check from behind by Ferraro. No call, or was there a call?
No, at the end, Nicholas got sent to the box. I believe Tuzzolino did as well.
Matching penalties, but man, that's not a cross-check. I haven't seen a cross-check. I don't think you can make another play either. I mean, that's a good play by Ferraro. You can't let him stand there, but No penalty call, and Providence Bruins have to chalk that one up to good luck.
7-3, Hartford out shooting Providence here in the early going, and as you said, definitely outplaying Peter Laviolette's team in the early going.
Well, Providence is going to have to find a way to solve what Hartford's doing in the middle of the ice. Hartford is clogging up the middle of the ice, so when Providence carries the puck through center and they try to pass the puck, they're just having no success, as Hartford is picking up very, very well on the side, on the wings, clogging up the middle, just denying the pass in the middle of the ice. Now, when a team denies you the pass in the middle of the ice, you can't keep trying to move it through the pass. You've got to get the puck on the carry across the red line, dump it in with the wings moving, and try to put forechecking pressure on that way. You just can't keep trying to bat your head against the center zone trap or center zone defense, whether you call it trap or not, good center zone defense, where they're denying the pass. You got to get work the carry, get across the line, dump it in.
So we skate 4 aside, something we did a lot last Sunday in the double overtime game. Seemed every time one side sent a guy to the box in that game, they committed a penalty. Here it's matching penalty, so 2 minutes up on the boards to Nicholas and Tuzzolino. Here's Goss. He goes in. Last minute save made Graham on the rebound. Vitahall is stopped by Graham, who is under siege here in the early going.
Well, this is an outstanding play. Jason Daw out of North York, Ontario, plus 14, tops on the team, has 8 goals in the playoffs, and he did a one-on-one tap dance for a shot on Graham.
12:41 time remaining here in the first period. Right wing circle, face off to the left of John Graham. One of the big differences, obviously, in the playoffs, injuries, how they affect the team, and they have helped in the later games, the Hartford Wolfpack, who got Johan Vitahall back in Game 3, and now they really have 2 strong scoring lines. Meantime, Cameron Mann hurt last Sunday in Game 4. Top scorer at the time for Providence. He's a big, big void to fill. Here on hit the post by Virtue as it got through everybody. Crowd got a little rise, but it was on the right side.
Hartford's winning all the battles along the wall, all the races for the loose pucks.
Here's a giveaway for Daw with Smith. Daw on a 2-on-1. He takes the shot, save, rebound out in front. Perfect hustles back. 10-3. Providence being outshot here in the early going. Perfect after it in the corner. Battling in there. He is checked off the puck and gets caught up there. Tim Peel is letting them play. We'll see how that plays out here in this Game 7 with emotions flying high.
Well, when I saw Ferraro's check on Vitahall not called, he certainly is letting it play.
Giveaway here. Henderson gets it to Perpick into the long shift to try to touch it ahead of the blue line. Bad move there. Armstrong brings it out. Armstrong cuts in. He drops it nicely. Doig on the follow. Drop pass just out of the reach of Bannister. And here goes Andre Savage. Savage, the breakaway. Savage goes in. Sent it wide as he tried to make the final move around LaBaye, who came out to challenge. Aggressive move by the goaltender LaBaye, and he stops the top scoring Bruin in this series. Savage now trying to get by the forechecking Mike Harder. Harder on a Colgate return to this series for Game 5. LaBaye went down as he lost an edge. Laxonen in after it. So officially, Savage never even got a shot on net there as he lost the handle, cutting to the right. Nicholas and Tuzzolino out of the box, 5-on-5. They battle in center ice. Laxonen into the offensive zone. Leaves it over to the left side. No one there. Nicholas tries to get there. Savage keeps it. Nicholas for Laxonen. In traffic. Laxonen tries to get the stick on it. He can't. Todd Hall, hustling, was knocked down. Beers, the defenseman, down into the corner. It plays over to the far side. Todd Hall, little chip clear. He flips it out through neutral ice. And look at the speed here from Daniel Gano. Gano leveled on the end boards there as Brandon Smith hustled back. And the puck comes out to neutral ice. But Gano was just left all alone to go in there and avoid the icing.
He's all over the ice, Gano, in this first period. He's been excellent. Checking, banging people off the boards. Excellent period so far.
Here's Jeremy Brown for the Bruins, working it wide on the right side. Around Klocek, he drops it back. Vandermeer just couldn't get it to the forehand. He battles away in the corner. Terry Virtue lost his helmet in the fray. Gets after it in the corner. Tough customer. He won't let that slow him down. Klocek looking ahead from Malhotra. Puck goes off the wall, and it'll come to the goaltender, Graham, so no icing. Just beyond the midway point of period number 1. 1-0, Hartford leading it. Referee Tim Peel lost the edge and went down, so he gets a nice ovation from the crowd.
He got no sympathy from the crowd. That's a one-man forecheck, soft. They're looking to just clog the wings up, and they'll jump on that pass, just as they did right there.
Eris Bermanis, the headman pass. Laxton gets it away. Nice play there by Manlow. He just lost the edge as he came in. Wilson barreling in, knocks the Hartford player off the puck. Bannister was the man. Wilson back in the middle. He sends it for Laxton, facing the wrong way. He couldn't send it on net. Hall and Manlow get there together. Manlow kicks it ahead. Eric Manlow has been scoreless in the last 2 games. Was the leading scorer prior to that. They work it on the left side. Wilson chops at it. Bounces up along the side. Chris Kennedy will try to clear it out and does. His flip clear will get through. No icing as Bermanis gets back. Bermanis with the pass up ahead. Laxton overskated. Jason Daw now will try to send in. He does on the right side, end of a shift. Both teams changing up on the fly.
You make careless passes right here into center ice. The white shirts are going to get it. It's pretty clear that they are dedicated to guarding the center of the ice, and they're doing it superbly.
Purinton gets back one step ahead of Perpick. Plays it out to center. Jeremy Brown is there. Back at his own blue line. Jeff Wells fanned on the clear. Klocek brings it in. PJ Stock tried to center it, was broken up. Puck at center ice. Daw plays it up to the blue line. Jeff Wells is there. Wells into the offensive zone. The defenseman drops it. Jeremy Brown here tries to get back to Wells. One pass too many. It was broken up by Hall.
You got to shoot the puck, particularly in this stage of the game, Tommy, where the momentum is all on the other side. You got to make something happen to make the goalie make a save, get you in it.
Great play by Stock here, but offside the call. Tough to hear the whistle with the big crowd. We'll take a timeout. 1-0. Hartford leading it in the first.
Welcome back to Hartford, everyone. Hartford leads 1-0 over Providence. 1-0. Brad Smith goal, 4-on-3. Savage, last man back, gets a break pass, sends him in alone, but just as he comes across the goal mouth, gets bothered by the goaltender LaBay, cannot control the puck, never gets a shot off. Brown's got to shoot the puck right there. He moves the puck to someone who didn't have a better shot than he had, and particularly in this early stage of the game where you're getting whacked around a little bit, you have to make a shot to make their goaltender make a save to get your team some momentum back in. LaBay has not had to make any saves of consequence with 7:53 remaining in the first period. A period only 1-0. That's a real saving grace for Providence, but a period clearly dominated by the Hartford Wolfpack. They've come out with their skating shoes on.
Talking to Peter Laviolette before the game, he was bemoaning the fact that there have been 8, 10, 12-minute stretches of this series when Hartford has absolutely dominated. This is clearly one of those stretches.
Yeah, it sure has been.
Armstrong throws it in on the right side. Brandon Smith gets after it for Providence. He cuts back. Almost lost the handle, but gains control. Pass out to neutralize for Nicholas. He fanned on the dump in. Vitahall able to clear. It got by Beers, and it's taken in by Armstrong. Armstrong looking for Ken Jernander. Broken up nicely by Brandon Smith. Now Jernander turns, dumps in on the left side. Battle for it behind the net. Smith and Armstrong battle. Armstrong got it away. Nicholas now takes it and will bank it off the wall out to neutral ice. 13 minutes gone here in period number 1. 10-3. Hartford has outshot Providence 1-0. They lead it. Again, the referee Tim Peel going down. He's having trouble with one of his edges, I believe. Smith at his own blue line. Throws ahead into the offensive zone. Carried back out by Bannister. Bannister up ahead looking for Chris Wells. Laxton almost gave it away. Puck sits on the wall. Beers gets back. Beers gave it away behind the net. The wraparound bid by Smith for his second was blocked by Graham. Rebound up but not out. Bannister keeps it in. Chris Wells on the left side. Trying to get it to Kennedy. Graham out there. He will play it himself. Off the glass to the far side. He gets it out to neutral ice. 6:12 time remaining here in the first. Headman pass taken by Chris Kennedy. Kennedy going in with Manny Malhotra. Checked off the puck nicely by Brown. Played away and taken by Perpick. Perpick's pass went off the skate of Aaron Downey. Now Bermanis at center ice with the giveaway. Todd Hall takes it back.
Well, I tell you, overcarry the puck or you make a careless pass in the middle against Hartford over this first period, it's going to go the other way on you.
Terry Hollinger back in the lineup. He was in on Friday after missing Game 5. He was injured in the third period of that double overtime win on Sunday. In Game 4, Bruins now. A backhander through traffic. Joe Perpick with a good idea. Just send it on net. Make sure J.F. LaBaye is still awake here. He hasn't seen much action, just his 4th save of the period.
Well, that was a pretty good rush by Providence because they took advantage of some transition offense. They got control of the puck just inside the blue line, got a 3-on-2 jump up the ice. That enabled them to get possession in the offensive zone, get some offensive opportunity, and then Prpic does the right thing. When he's out in no man's land here, has nothing really to do with the puck. Just fire that backhander on net. LaBaye ends up taking the face-off, but there's lots of action in front, and even not able to handle that, there'd have been a rebound opportunity. But Providence clearly, with very few shots in the first period, have to take advantage of the few opportunities they get to put that puck on net. Good move there by Prpic. Prpic leads the American Hockey League in penalty minutes. I think he came into this game with 58.
Yeah, that's right.
Penalty minutes, #1 in the league in the playoffs.
He said before the game, he knows more than anything that you got to watch the chippiness and the retaliatory penalties, because those are the ones that'll get called. And in Game 7, a power play could be deadly. At the point, the shot comes through. Ferraro got a piece of it at the doorstep. It went wide. Now Virtue gets it away, and some time and space here for P.J. Stock. Stock in the offensive zone, tried to drop it for Daw. Pass was off the mark, and Nicholas gets back after.
Yeah, that was not a good read by Daw. What was going to happen on that play?
There's Nicholas overhandling Smith with a laser, and a save made for Graham. So the Bruins just not making that quick first pass, and they've been paying the price.
Well, if you don't make the quick first pass, you got to make the quick move to get the puck out of the zone. You cannot lose the puck 5 or 6 feet inside the blue line when you've got possession and all your teammates are heading up ice thinking they're going the other way. See, Eric has the puck, and this is the bad spot to lose the puck. The puck goes, that's a good save by Graham. Graham has been very good in the period. So he's going to have the puck right in. Now chip it out of there. Loses it just outside the blue line. Now you can see Stock look the other way. See if he gets some quick transition offense. Fires that pass across ice. But, you know, that's the kind of situation that gets you in trouble. And you can see P.J. Stock right away look to see if he had a quick break coming back in the zone.
John Graham has stopped 11 of 12 Wolfpack shots here in the first.
Well, we might look back on this if Hartford, if Providence wins the game to the first period by Graham playing exceptionally well is the key to the game, because as LaBaye, 15 saves in the game, in Game 6, saved the game for Hartford. Graham's playing well in the first period.
Big hit at neutral ice. Got an offside call, no penalty there. I believe a 2-line offside whistle being blown. So we'll take a timeout. 4:41 our time remaining here in the first. The Pack leading 1-0.
104. Where Damon is standing by.
Welcome back to Hartford, everyone. Hartford 1, Providence 0. Brad Smith's ninth goal of the playoffs at 1:03 of the first period. Take a seat in the front row tomorrow as we profile David Goodman of the Boston-based Phoenix Academy. Dave is a one-man mobile fitness gym helping kids learn the benefits of exercise in a structured environment. Whatever happened to the Jungle Gym? Find out in the front row tomorrow afternoon at 5 here on Nesson. I was not very good on those jungle gyms. I used to play in a sandbox at the bottom. You know, that was, you never climb.
Vertically challenged.
Yeah, when I was in the Marine Corps, I had trouble getting up the rope, even when they had the loops on it. You know, to help me put your feet in. The DI screaming at me didn't help.
Coming up here on the long dump in. Better on the team building exercises where someone can help you?
I was better carrying guys on my back. Better going down to the ditch, grabbing the guy back and carrying him fireman's carry.
Well, this is only the second time in 7 games of this series that Hartford has scored the first goal of the game. Obviously, they have split the first 6 games. But Providence has been on the board early in most of these games. They scored, as we said, just 25 seconds into the game on Friday night. But then Hartford reeled off the next 4. They may be looking at this period as a positive momentum swing if they can get out of it, still being within a goal.
I would
get to the locker room and a little talking to. Dwayne Harmer, the defenseman, plays it up on the wall. Laxinen tried to clear but couldn't. Harmer at it. Banks it off the wall again to Laxinen. He's battling Chris Wells, knocked down to the rocks. Wells stick handling in a phone booth there, gets it up ahead. He gets it around Harmer. Harmer knocks him down. Jeff Wells knocked off the puck as he battles down there with Malhotra.
Yeah, the white shirts run both those battles along the boards.
Here's
another one here.
Kicked away over to the near side as Chris Wells now will draw the penalty. A penalty coming up against the Bruins. Played off Kennedy's skate as it comes out to neutral ice. Bruins will try to get the touch here to draw the whistle before they can get it back. Doig carries all the way back. They have a delayed penalty. LaBaye off the ice. touched there. Whistle wasn't blown. Now it is blown as they realized it was dumped in, and we've got a penalty. The first power play of the game will go to the Wolfpack.
Well, this is pretty typical of what's happened in this first period. The Providence Bruins lose a battle right along the board just inside the blue line. They lose another battle inside the goal line, and then Harmer gets tied up along the boards on the other side, and he finally has to resort to a hold. And the first penalty of the first period is going to go against the Providence Bruins, going to be Dwayne Harmer for holding. Boy, if that wasn't typical of what's happened in this first period, that entire series inside the goal line is just all indicative of what has happened. There's Wells. He wins the battle down the right side. Harmer can't keep him away. Puck goes inside the line. They're going to win another battle along the boards. There's Hall. And then finally Harmer on the other side takes a hold, and Hartford's going on power play. Hartford, over the course of the playoffs, 9 out of 86. 11% effectiveness, have had 2 power play goals versus the Providence Bruins, but up until the other night, their power play had been pretty ineffective against Providence or anybody else.
Yeah, just 2 for 33 in this series. The Wolfpack not getting it done on the power play, but it hasn't slowed them down much.
No, but Providence has been a good shorthand team all playoff long, only giving up 6 goals in 56 bids. Only scored on 10% of the time. One shorthander.
Here's Hall bringing it in. Armstrong tries to get it back to Hall on the follow. Now Smith had to go up his skate into the corner. Puck cleared away all the way on net there, played by LaBay.
Smith had an unhindered wrap at that really third rebound, and the puck bounced over his stick. Fortunately for Providence, because he was not guarded as he came in there to take a whack at it.
Poked off the stick of Brandon Smith. Daw gets it back up top for Bannister. Now to Daw on the wall. He plays it. Looking for Armstrong. Smith gets it up front. Nice job. Bob Beers hustles over to poke it off his stick. Checking it was Jeremy Brown. Now played away by Joel Perpick. And fresh power play and penalty killing units coming out for both teams. 2:25 our time remaining here in the period. 49 seconds remaining on the power play. Hartford starts the long skate up ice. Terry Virtue dumps in left wing side. It comes all the way around into the corner. Manlow trying to play it away. Hollinger now gets it over to the near side. And a nice clear down there by Aris Bermanis, who gets it length of the ice to the goaltender LaBay. 2 minutes remaining here in the first period. Hartford on the power play with a 1-0 lead. Here's Kennedy. Tries to fire one in. It was blocked by Bermanis. Clearing bid, kept in nicely by Todd Hall. Hall cross corner dump in from Manis for the Bruins, plays it away far side. Mike Harder there gets it back behind the net for Kennedy. Virtue left side, ping-ponging around there. It went off Jernander and Harder and is cleared away by Providence. It was right at the end of the power play, so icing will be called with about 27 remaining in the period.
Well, that was a simple little shot by Virtue, but how often do we see that little wrister from the point be dangerous as that sort of caromed off a couple of bodies off the inside period, dominated by the Hartford Wolfpack, but they're only ahead 1-0, a minute and 26 remaining. Little flipper shot in, just try to get something on net. Well, bingle there, bangle there, and off it goes wide. See it again. Whoa. Simple little shot. Very fortunate for Providence because there were 2 white shirts right by the corner of the net. Providence a little discombobulated in the first period. You know, Hartford's come back from a 3-1 deficit. And sometimes a club that comes back from the eye of the tiger like that just has all the advantage in Game 7 because they've seen, they've seen the end of the road and they've avoided it. They think the momentum's clearly with them, and it has certainly been that way in the first period.
Bob Beers at the blue line, plays it out, kicked in by Hall. Beers gets it back, 1 step ahead of Malhotra. Bob Beers, the Boston Bruins radio analyst on WBZ during the season, out of retirement to play some hockey. 2-on-1 here. Chris Wells fires a shot, and Graham makes the save. He might have been better served looking for Malhotra there, but the play was played well as they cut down the passing angle, and Graham played the shooting angle perfectly.
Well, Bob be the first one to tell you he missed his chance to dump the puck in, and when he did, he got trapped along the boards. What happens is Beers comes over to the left side. He's right along here now. He loses control of the puck, and he can't dump it in. Now he's stuck. Here comes transition. Your defenseman's caught up ice. 2-on-1 break the other way. Well, snaps off the shot, Graham makes a save. But boy, that's exactly the kind of thing that has happened to Providence in this first period. That time, Bob Beers just lost control of the puck as he crossed the red line. He would absolutely, his rushing days are behind him. He was looking to dump that puck in, but once he lost it there, you've got your defenseman caught in center ice, and they transition that quickly.
Final minute of play in the first. The only goal coming a minute 3 into it. Hartford out shooting Providence 15-6 here in the first. Weird bounce there as Vandermeer tries to get after it. Virtue one step ahead, plays it up for Armstrong. Kennedy couldn't chip it in from center ice. Harmer is there to dump in for the Bruins. Vandermeer has 3 assists in the playoffs. They all came in one game. Centering pass here as it came all the way through. Kennedy will get it away to Armstrong. Armstrong dumps in on the right side. Game 3 was in Providence. Peter Vandermeer, who was picked up at the end of the season from the East Coast League, had a 3-assist game.
They're just crunching everything that moves.
Providence is getting nailed on the wall. Here the shot from the far wall. Save made. Opportunity in front. They tried to get it to Wilson, but it was blocked. Manlow tried to get the hard feed in. Doig made the stop. Final seconds winding down, and Providence Bruins are going to be happy to get to the locker room here and try to take a deep breath. 15-7. Hartford out shooting Providence in the first period. John Graham with 14 saves. Brad Smith, the lone goal of the period. He gets it early. And that's the only one we've seen. Hartford outplaying Providence. It's still just a 1-goal lead after 1. They head to the locker rooms. We head to a break. Game 7 is 20 minutes old. Everything's been close between these two teams, and it's close here tonight at the Civic Center. Stay with us. More from Hartford after this. Welcome back to the Hartford Civic Center, where the fans are smiling here with a 1-0 lead. But
your thought patterns were clearly disrupted.
No, I beg your pardon. They weren't showing those last week on Mother's Day, I noticed. John Graham has stopped 14 to 15 shots 2 straight times now. Hartford has staved off elimination with a win in this series. Peter Laviolette says before the game, that's what happened when a team plays desperately.
Desperation always, I think, plays into a game. If the team who's more desperate has maybe a better chance of winning the hockey game, and here both teams are desperate. That's probably why it's going to be a great game. But they did come out and play some desperate hockey, and especially when they were. I go back to Game 5, but they were down 2-1, and they came out in the third period, and again they picked up their tempo for about 8 minutes, and they threw in a couple goals, and they got the lead. And although we picked it up after that, we couldn't bounce back from that. So I think desperation had something to do with it then.
Take me through the beginning of, well, once again, a long stretch where Hartford clearly outplayed Providence. We will see if Providence can this time come back from it.
Well, I tell you, they've got to find a way to penetrate the center of the ice. They're not getting a lot of transition movement out of center ice. Hartford's doing a good job of getting it in deep and protecting the puck on the carry. Like right there, they just flip it in deep. So they've got to find a way to get the puck into the Providence, into the Hartford zone, and apply some pressure. They weren't able to do that in the first period.
That pass out of the reach of Laxton. Quickly the Wolfpack with a transition game, trying to get it up into the offensive zone, but taken back out by Eric Manlow of the Bruins. Manlow up to center, will dump in. To the right wing side, Tomasz Kluchek rather. Klochek plays it out on the right side. Chris Kennedy brings it into the offensive zone. Virtue trying a quick flip shot in as the defenseman joined the rush. It was blocked, never got through to Graham, and the Bruins bring it back out.
I think that's very good coaching by P. Laviolette. He obviously told the guys, get the puck in. Whoa, redirect there.
And Laxton fired one through, and you can see that clearly Providence is thinking shoot now.
Well, they're thinking dump. That's the best thing they're thinking. When they get the red line, they're not making the extra pass. They're getting the puck in deep, and that's what they're going to have to do.
Icing the call there as Klochek gets up there and touches up just ahead of the hard-skating Jeremy Brown. Here's the way the first period went. Brad Smith got it started early, just 1:03 into the game, assisted by P.J. Stock and Jason Doig. 15-7, Hartford out shooting Providence. 14 saves for John Graham.
Well, Tommy, I think if they continue with that pattern and they play solid defense, but continue to get to the line and throw it in, that will help defeat the trap, and they'll get more shots in this second period. There's a deflection off the skate inside, and LeBay had to be very alert to get back there with the right pad and skate to kick that out. Just started here, 19:02 of the second period. Brad Smith's goal of 103 for Hartford, the only score of the game.
Jason Daw wins the draw, back to Jason Doig. He tried a quick flip shot in. Brown came out to break it up, and the Bruins have the numbers if they bring it out. Downey to Perpick into the offensive zone. Joel Perpick's shot blocked by Drew Bannister. Pass around to the near side. Brandon Smith pinching up on the wall, keeps in. Battle in the corner now, Doig. Reverses direction to the far side for Bannister. He kisses it off the glass. Took a weird carom off the stanchion, and now Hartford able to get it out. And we had a whistle back off the play. A penalty call here. Maybe not.
I don't think so.
Puck just came out of the penalty box door open, but it was to give a new puck. Puck had come out of the playing service, and so we get an offensive zone draw for the Bruins.
Tommy, the coaching point you want to make here is that if we don't have an advantage rush, dump the puck in. If it's 2-on-2, 3-on-3, dump it in. If you have an advantage rush, 3-on-2, 4-on-3, now you can control the puck and carry it into the zone and try to make a play. But when you don't want to try to do that, if you're a 1-on-2 or 2-on-2, get the puck in deep, see if you can put pressure on and generate some offense off forecheck.
Savage, Nicholas, and Ferraro out there now for the Bruins. It'll be Savage against Armstrong in the draw. No, it won't, as they get waved out. Ferraro steps in against Ken Jernander. Vitahall, Jernander, and Armstrong across the top for Hartford. 1:26 gone here in the second period. 1-0 the score. It came just 1:03 into the first period. Brad Smith got the goal. No icing here as Hollinger gets back for the Bruins. Played up ahead for Ferraro. He's got some speed but couldn't control it as he tried to put it back on his forehand. Bruins get it back at the blue line. Pass up on the left side. Flipped in by Ferraro. Nicholas gives chase. Purinton one step ahead. Ferraro hustling up, got a piece of it, and out Jernander will bank it out to the near side. Vitahall into the offensive zone. A two-line pass, the call, as he didn't reel it in until he went into the offensive zone.
Boy, that was almost a heck of a play from Jernander to Vitahall. An indirect pass that isolated defenseman. Unfortunately for Hartford, it was a two-line offside pass, but it was a dandy idea. What you want to try to do is isolate that defenseman in the middle with Vitahall going behind him. They do that nicely. I'm not sure that was a two-line pass.
That's pretty borderline on the two-line pass, yeah.
A marginal call. Well, you see how they isolated the defenseman there. Vitahall behind him. Now the indirect pass by Jernander. They say that defenseman's in no man's land. That was a very, very fortuitous call for the Providence Bruins because that looked like a legal pass.
Offensive zone draw for the Bruins, controlled by the Wolfpack. Todd Hall banks it too high for Jernander to reel in. Hollinger slides it across. Now comes into the offensive zone. The late offside call. It'll come back out to center ice.
Well, the first period was played at a fast pace, primarily because Hartford was playing pretty fast. They had tremendous tempo to the game and only one penalty, very, very few whistles. And this early part of the second period has not been that way. It's sort of bogged down with each one of these teams sort of feeling one another out early on. Okay, at this stage of the game, in this stage of the playoffs, it's not a good idea to go down 2-0. I just think the pressure then to come back leads teams to get a little one-on-one-ish.
Yeah, the breakdowns become magnified. Any mistake becomes magnified. We talked about the one Game 7 in Providence history. Remember, that was a 1-0 game after 2 periods. Portland Pirates led it. It ended up being a 6-3 final. Here, a redirection in front as Vandermeer got a piece of the shot from Harmer, and one of the tougher saves of the night for LeBay.
Well, it might have been the toughest save of the night simply because he was in excellent position. He made it look easy. This is a shot from the outside by Harmer. Looks like a relatively harmless shot, but Vandermeer with that tip inside deflects it. LeBay, look at him, he's out at the top of the crease in excellent position, and that's why he made the save. You know, he anticipated the original shot, got himself out to the top of the crease, and was in excellent position to make the stop. Boy, has he played spectacularly, but we've seen him do that before in the playoffs.
Yeah, 1997, the playoff MVP, J.F. LeBay, backstopping the Hershey Bears to a Cup final win over the Hamilton Bulldogs. We told you at the top, twice in that postseason, his team overcame a 3-1 series deficit, first against Philadelphia, then against Springfield. Here, Harmer carries up from a tough angle. He brought it in on net, fired it on LeBay, and LeBay made the stop.
Tommy, he's 11-3 when his team has faced elimination.
That's an amazing stat. Puck dumped in from center ice by Manlow. Puritan back after it. His clearing bid picked off by Wilson. He fires a shot. Rebound. Great save. LaBay. He robbed Vandermeer from the doorstep. Daw back out the other way, trying to turn defense into offense. His shot was deflected up over the crossbar. Todd Hall keeps it in. Puck comes out in front. Wilson was afraid there was a man on the back. Now he just pokes it out to neutral ice. Where LaBay was looking reminiscent of Brian Boucher's save.
Well, I was thinking the exact same thing, Tom, but just like it.
Here's Downey, but a two-line pass, and he didn't like that one. So we'll take a timeout. Providence now out shooting Hartford 5-0 in the second period, but trailing 1-0 on the board.
Hi again, everybody. Hartford 1, Providence 0. J.F. LaBay, a couple of dandies here. The first one off Landon Wilson, and the second one just a brilliant save off Peter Vandermeer, and that was so reminiscent of Brian Boucher the other night, just rolling across the goal crease with that left arm outstretched. Vandermeer couldn't get the puck up, and LaBay made the save. Watch this again. Original save, then reach out with the glove as you turn back toward the net. Stretch your glove out. Wow.
J.F. LaBay now has stopped all 12 shots he has faced. He has now stopped 268 of 286 shots in this series, a save percentage up around 94. And a guy who has done it and gone all the way to the finals as a playoff MVP before begins to loom larger and larger between those pipes to an opponent in Game 7. That's the guy you got to beat when you're trailing 1-0 to get this one even. Bermanis, hard around to Downey on the far side, plays it up to center. Pass comes back to the blue line. Bruins take it back in the defensive zone. 3.5 gone here in period number 2. Joel Perpick up over center. Flips it nicely ahead. Here's Jeremy Brown trying to split the D. Doig got back and plays it away. Downey keeps it in the corner. Downey barreling after it. Harmer plays it up into the circle now. Left wing side. Perpick got a piece of it. Mike Harder gets back. Harder tried to reverse direction. Perpick got a piece of that. Great defensive forward, Joel Perpick. 3 times there he stopped Hartford from clearing. Icing is the call. It just did miss the crease there as it came through. J.F. LaBay in 1997 was the playoff MVP as the Hershey Bears won the Calder Cup, beating Hamilton in Game 5 at Copps Coliseum. Doug Friedman scoring there, in case you were wondering. Eric Messier also scoring for the Hershey Bears as they rolled. He had 34 wins during the regular season. He was a first-team All-Star, top goaltender in the league, and the playoff MVP as J.F. LaBay, who had a pretty good young goalie on the bench behind him. Mark Denny, who is now up with Colorado, was the backup there. J.F. LaBay signing with the New York Rangers organization. Made his NHL debut this season in April. It's his 7th year as a pro. He has been a dominant goaltender at the American League level, but never really getting a shot in the NHL. We told you he got one in April.
He may get one with expansion because he's putting up some records. You just can't look by the records that a guy, particularly maturing goalie, puts up in the league that you use as a gauge to see how good players are.
Here's Armstrong. Circles the net. He tried to center. Nice job getting back there. Hollinger broke it up.
You know, so often scouts look at the statistics and look at what a guy's done for record and sometimes find other reasons to not bring him up. He's too small, he's too this, he's too that. But what LaBay has done in his career here is whatever the knocks you might have against him, particularly he's a little guy, he's not real fat, not real big, but he keeps the puck out of the net, and from my watching him over the years I've watched him, he's a tremendous competitor. He just hangs you in there, and the way the guys talk about him, I think the guys like to play in front of him. Just listening to the guys talk about him, I think they like to play in front of him. So he's got a lot of things going for him, and with expansion, a young goaltender like LaBay has a tremendous opportunity. But he's only 27 years of age, and that's older for a forward in this league, but it's not old for a goaltender.
These guys had to work for everything. He started in the United League. He was not drafted, playing for Thunder Bay in what was at that time called the Colonial League. Was the top goaltender of that league, won the cup of that league. And if you just keep winning and you keep being named the top goaltender, you're going to get your shot at the next level. And there's only one step up from here, and that's the NHL. Dwayne Harmer for the Bruins gets back after it. Quick flip pass up ahead. Just does get it out over the blue line. Todd Hall out there. Plays it up ahead near side for Kennedy. Chris Kennedy sends it in. Bruins get back there. Poked away here on the giveaway. Jeff Wells gave it there. And look at the glove stop for Graham as it came from the corner. John Graham saw Manny Malhotra with his sights set on the back of the net. Graham got that glove up there and picked it off.
Well, I know that the Hartford Wolfpack would like to see more scoring out of Manny Malhotra. Here in this playoff, he's gotten a great chance to play with 16 games played, but he has a goal and an assist, and he's -3. And this one's going to head the other way. Graham has got to anticipate that centering pass. He does, and snipes it out of the air. But when you look at Malhotra, who has played an extended period of time in the NHL, and now he's played 16 games in the playoff, has a goal and assist and -3. As a #1 draft pick, you have to expect more out of him than what he's been giving in the stats so far.
7th pick of the draft.
Drives me nuts in warm-up.
Here's Henderson with a full head of speed. Jay Henderson shoots it up over the crossbar. Here from the doorstep, LaBay makes a pair of saves. Bob Beers turns and fires. It gets by everybody. Twice tonight, the Bruins have had uncontested breakaways. Twice, they have been unable to get a shot on net. Savage had it actually poked off his stick a bit by LaBay, and this time Henderson rushed the shot a hair and sent it up over the crossbar. Left side, Jeremy Brown over skates. Glove down at center ice. Brandon Smith leaves it there. Here's Brad Smith with a full head of steam. Smith fires it wide to the left. Daw keeps it. Smith, left corner. Looking to center. Nice block there. Puck sits loose. Bob Beers sliding down as he made the stop. Here's an opportunity for the Bruins. They've got the advantage with the numbers here as Brown carries in. Poked in by Brandon Smith and held on to by LaBay.
Brandon, you had that move by Brown up by the face-off circle. I'm not sure that's a great move. A dangle by the circle, trying to get yourself in off the forehand, coming to the inside. Pretty easy for a defender to play you when you step across his face to the forehand side. Henderson had the best bid for the Providence Bruins. You see him bang his stick there since Savage in the first period. Out aggressively is LaBay. Doesn't leave him much to shoot at as he's got that split going from pole to pole. Forces him to shoot upstairs, and he misses the crossbar. I was just saying how Malhotra drives me nuts before practice. He gets in these 3-on-2 line drills, and he always, when he takes his shot, goes behind the goal. You know, it's like everybody else skates out, and he goes behind the goal. He's going to get hit off the coconut some night so hard, he's going to miss a game. Somebody told him that, I'm sure, in his career as a player. He does it anyway.
Nicholas had it momentarily, poked off his stick. Wolfpack trying to streak out. Vital unable to get after it. Permanis has it now, plays it behind the net. Ferraro in front of his own net. 6.5 minutes gone as the Bruins break it out. Hartford has not yet taken a shot on net in the second period.
Yeah, I tell you, and Providence Bruins, Peter Laviolette, excellent job between periods of regrouping on what style of play they're going to play because they have not overcarried the puck through center zone yet. Wow.
Permanis sends it in here. LaBay is going to dive after that one and cover it up. They had Ferraro chopping away at the doorstep and Savage one step away.
Well, they're turning the momentum around because they are not messing around with the puck in center zone. They're getting it in deep, and then they're winning the races to the puck. Permanis from the outside gets that shot off loose puck in front. And Peter Ferraro, one of the most tenacious guys in the offensive zone in the league. Only 4 goals thus far in the playoffs. That's a little low for him. He had a great playoff series last year.
He was MVP.
Yes, he was.
And they have done a good job keeping Peter Ferraro in check in this series. He's been battling a rib injury.
Well, that's good. That has an impact. But if you do what they did in the first period, which is turn the puck over the middle, you never give the Peter Ferraros of the world a chance to work offensively because you never have the puck deep enough for the other guy's defensive end to get any offensive chances. But they are this period.
Battle in the left wing corner as Wilson has to pull it away from Klochek. Now Vandermeer tried to throw it out in front and just missed the puck as it was pulling away from him. Jeff Wells keeps it. Vandermeer reached out, couldn't get there in time. Puck off the glass and out to neutral ice. Dwayne Harmer. Cross ice pass, now gets it back. Harmer plays it out through neutral ice, bouncing puck into the offensive zone. Hartford there, Todd Hall with a backhand clear. It'll come all the way back and we'll have icing as Jeff Wells touches up. 12:34 here remaining in the second. The Bruins have turned things around, but they've yet to get on the board. It's 1-0 Hartford.
We're back. Hartford 1, Providence nothing, all the way back to 103 of the first period. Brad Smith, 9th goal. Stay with Nesson for more Red Sox action this week. Tuesday night, the Sox and Pedro kick off a 3-game series with the Blue Jays at Fenway Park. Bob Kurtz and Jerry Remy have the call against one of their division rivals. It all starts with Bob Rogers and Red Sox Digest at 6:30. The Red Sox and the Blue Jays Tuesday night live on Nesson.
J.F. LaBe has seen 7 shots here in the second period. Bruins were dominated in the first period. John Graham kept a minute, stopping 14 of 15. Here the Bruins out shooting Hartford 7-0 in the second.
I'm going to call Kurtzy when the weather's nicer and have him captain me around Lake Winnipesaukee on the good ship Kurtz.
I thought you were going to say you were asking him for tickets.
No. I want one of those leisurely cruises around the lake.
The water skiing?
No.
Perpik gets it back to Beers. His shot is stopped. Rebound way out front. And here's Brad Smith. He's got the lone goal of the game. Shots even up now at 15 apiece. But as we said, the Bruins dodged a bullet in the first period. Right now, it seems Hartford is dodging a bullet, as LaBe is keeping him in. The
series has been one of ebbs and flows, as you pointed out, Tom. I think clearly the best that I've seen Hartford play was in the first period. They were very, very disciplined. They played exceptionally well in the middle of the ice, and Graham was exceptional in the nets for Providence. Therefore, they got out of there with only a 1-0 lead. This period, because I think Providence has not messed around with the puck in center ice, and when they've got in the middle of the ice, they've dumped it in. They've been able to generate more pressure on Hartford, and I don't care what level you're at, if you pressure the other guy's defenseman, they're going to cough the puck up, and Providence has forced some turnovers in Hartford's defensive end, and therefore the shots have evened out from 15-5 at the start of the period to 16-15 advantage Hartford with 12-12 remaining in the second. So the territorial advantage is pushed it over to the Bruins, but they don't have any goals.
Andre Savage will step in against Derek Armstrong in the left wing circle. During the regular season, Armstrong was 3rd in the league with 82 points. 28 goals go along with 54 assists. Bob Beers takes it in on the wall off the draw. Came back to Nicholas. Henderson now battling. Klocek takes it away. Gets it along the end boards to Vitahal, who got nailed there, but Hartford gets the puck away. Beers slides it across. Look at the headman pass up to neutral ice. Rink-wide pass. Never got through to Henderson. A bit too long on that pass. Yeah. Plenty of time for Terry Virtue to read it and pick it up.
Well, particularly when you're trying to play against a defender like Terry Virtue, that can result in real trouble for you because you're making a cross-ice pass. Virtue has plenty of time to look at it. He can't quite get up in time, but this could easily have been, away the other way, Hartford, because there wasn't much back there in the Providence defensive end had Virtue gotten that on the jump.
Terry Virtue, prior to this season, had played in 2 winner-take-all deciding games of a series in '97. Game 5 for the Worcester Ice Cats. He was beaten by Providence as the Bruins came back from a 2-0 deficit, winning 3 straight games. The following year, he played for Worcester. They played Game 7 against this Hartford Wolfpack team. Hartford winning that game 8-2. Finally won a winner-take-all game in the first round of this series with that 7-2 win over the Falcons in the first round.
Well, Tommy, he's got 9 points in the playoffs and 6 of them in this series.
Here's Armstrong with a little bit of space. He snaps off a screenshot, save made. Rebound, Jordan. Graham got over to him. Puck bounces around to the left of Graham. He sticks it up ahead to Beers. Beers will get it started now as the Bruins see Graham make his first saves of the period. There's Armstrong back the other way. Quick touch pass. Vitahal from the slot. His shot saved by Graham. 3 quick saves for Graham now after going untested.
That was a dandy because Vitahal was going right to left and came back against the grain with the shot. Always a difficult shot. Graham, superb stop there.
Here's Tuzzolino. Tuzzolini fires one and the glove save made there. Tony Tuzzolino firing it from the left side. Graham went down low to make the stop. So Graham went 8 minutes and 18 seconds without seeing a shot. Now he's had to stop 4 quick ones.
Well, you know, the one that didn't get a big cry from the crowd but was a dandy was this one on Vitahal. Now watch, Vitahal goes left and comes back against the grain looking to that near post side, the right post actually, and he comes back against the grain. So you got Graham sliding as Vitahal goes to his left. Graham slides with him, and he's got to come back against the grain as Vitahal tries to go short side. That's a good, a tough spot for the goaltender to come back with that leg because he's pushing off to go to the shooter's forehand.
Hollinger got it ahead from Laxton. Back to Hollinger in his own zone. Terry Hollinger slides it across for Manlow in full stride. Manlow plays it up ahead. Hall back to take it for Hartford. Hall has it poked off his stick as Hollinger jumped up and read the play. Hollinger battling in the corner here. The defenseman leaves it on the left side. Landon Wilson, nice cutback, tough angle shot. LaBay got a piece of it, but it ended up going wide. Hall behind his own net as we approach the midway point of this second period. Puritan mishandles. Plays it up on the wall. Manlow takes away. Manlow for Wilson. Hall on Wilson, battling. Puritan tries to clear again. Kept in by Bremanis. His shot is redirected wide. Here from the doorstep, Manlow fires one out. LaBay with a stop and a little bit of banging around after the play as Laxton was banging in on Puritan looking for a piece of that rebound.
Well, Manlow is 14 points in the playoffs, sets up a screen on that original shot from Bremanis, and then gets it point blank right to the left of LaBay, where LaBay makes a stop with him on him. The shot from Bremanis from the outside was screened. There's Bremanis. There's right there is Manlow, a little feet out in front by Wilson, pushing and shoving. Going to get him set up. Nice effort there by Wilson to come loose and pry that puck loose, get it over to Manlow. But Manlow had a pretty good chance on the first one for tip in front. Little soft shot from the right point by Bremanis on net that he was in front to screen. Manlow 14 points in the playoffs, 4 power play goals, leads the team.
Beers flips it ahead, looking for Brandon Smith, who jumped up on the right side. Joel Perpick now, left corner, centering, gloved away there by LaBay, who matches up the play from John Graham earlier in the period, gloving down the centering pass.
Well, LaBay's got a pretty good idea here. Nothing much good happens if you let the guy center the pass across your goal crease, and he can get a piece of that one, so he gets a piece of it, freezes it, gets a face-off to his right. Smart play. Sometimes you don't know what's on that other side. You let that puck go through. It can be a mistake. Got a chance here to get a face-off, have his team regain possession. Now, Hartford doing a little better tonight than they did. We saw game 4. They just struggled on face-offs all night long.
Joel Perpick, one of the big reasons why he's tied up there as Stock won the draw. Stock gets after it on the wall now. Perpick ties him up. Beers pokes at it and keeps it in. Down he turns. Wrists one. Glove save made there. LaBay. Again, Perpick banging in front. He and Malhotra or Chekadoy get separated. Now we've got a couple of bodies spilled down there.
Well, there's going to be penalties called, I believe. Maybe not.
I don't think so. Tim Peel, the referee, comes over to have a word with John Paddock. Talk about what's going on. Basically what's been happening is the shots are coming in on LaBay, and the Bruins have been really putting on a concerted effort to crash the net. Hartford taking exception, thinking some of it's going on after the whistle. So a quick warning to both coaches now as Peel went over to Laviolette as well. The third time this shift, it'll be Perpick stepping in for an offensive zone draw against PJ Stock once again. Perpick with Vandermeer and Downey. Pokes it up ahead. Downey and Vandermeer went in after it. Play gets around to Daw. He's able to bank it out to center ice. Appreciative crowd. Happy to see the puck get out of the defensive zone here in Hartford. Bannister at center ice. Dumps in. Graham out to play behind his own net. Bruins get it started. Perpick skates by. Smith up ahead for Vandermeer. Vandermeer checked there by Doig. They battle. Downey comes barreling in and hammers Doig. Puck comes into the offensive zone for Daw. Daw, big slap shot with tough angle. Stick save made there, Graham. Rebound up on the wall, play back to the point. Doig is there. Doig threw a screen and went off the skate of Smith. Brad Smith redirecting it wide. Perpick, long shift for him with all the whistles. Into the offensive zone from Vandermeer. Downey trying to get after it as well. Stock's going to start it off. He's got Smith on the far side, gives it to Daw. Daw up the middle now for Smith. Smith top of the right circle for Doig. Stopped and played away to the corner. And a good effort down there by Jeff Wells.
Yeah, they had Doig early on that play. He was the third man, the back man on the rush. Had a pass to him early, waited too long. By the time they passed it to him, it was a real squeeze in too tight.
Graham way out to play it in traffic. Puck loose in the corner. Centering pass never came to the front as it was redirected in behind the net. Chris Wells for Hartford, barreling into the corner, battling away as the scrum forms, now dug out by Kennedy, back for Terry Virtue. Virtue had no angle, he plays it around behind the net. Manny Malhotra one step ahead of Jeff Wells. He plays it back to the corner. Look at the battle between Perpick and Chris Wells. Perpick double shifting has been out there about 2 minutes now. Brandon Smith for Providence changes directions, gets it around to the near side. In the corner, Hartford trying to set up now. Nicholas picks it off, plays it up ahead quickly. Ferraro going it alone, 1-on-2. Ferraro trying to work wide on the left side, knocked away by Klochek. As the Bruins are changing up, here Bermanis flips it up ahead. Bruins have an opportunity. Ferraro turns, tough angle, he scores! What a goal by Peter Ferraro! It looked like he had no angle on the net, but he gets it past LaBe and we're tied at 1.
Well, you know, that just shows what happens if you shoot the puck on the net. And some guys, and Ferraro's one of them, they're just flat-out goals.
Last time they went to double overtime, so over the past 2 years, not a whole lot separating these two teams.
The last game was 5-3, but it was an overtime, empty netter at the end.
There was Wilson, but getting back to break up his bid was Dale Purinton. Now from a long way out, Hollinger fires. Hall blocks, 4-on-2 developing for Hartford. Armstrong ahead for Vital. Vital tries to drop back for Armstrong. Great play by Manlow, who read the play and broke it up.
He sure did. That's a great back check to pick up the trail guy. He saw that drop pass coming all the way, read the play, and made the back checking effort.
Manlow ahead for Henderson. Quick touch pass to Wilson, who got nailed by Doig, but got it away and stayed on his skates. Wilson down in the corner. Landon Wilson. He didn't get started in the playoffs until the second round, playing in Game 3 against the Lowell Lock Monsters. Bruins, of course, sweeping through the first 2 rounds. 3 straight wins against Quebec, 4 straight against Lowell, but this has been a different story. Andre Savage gets after it in the corner. Savage has it broken up, but he gets it through. Jeremy Brown tried to hustle up to take the feed from Henderson, never got through, and Brad Smith brings it out. Smith over to the left side. Into the offensive zone, knocked off the puck and tied up as the Bruins clear beyond center. Long way out, but Bannister fires it on net, and Graham will cover up now. Jason Daw, who's been outstanding in the playoffs with 15 points, came hustling in, forcing the offensive zone draw.
Well, it was after a bit of a push and tug first 5 minutes of the second period. The tempo's picked up pretty up and down action. Peter Ferraro's goal, 12-20. Eric Nicholas and Eric Manlow assist. The only other goal of the game at 1:03 of the first period. Brad Smith is 9th of the playoffs from Jason Doig and P.J. Stock. 5:54 remaining. Eric Manlow here read a drop pass just brilliantly. Sees that pass all the way coming back to Derek Armstrong. If you're reading somebody, Armstrong's the guy you want to look for because he's a goal scorer. And they like that play. They like the give and go on that rush up ice.
There's Virtue firing into a crowd. It was knocked out on the high slot, cleared to center by Jay Henderson. We're checking Peter Vandermeer.
We saw him score on that drop pass give and go in the last game, Game 4. Armstrong working with Daw down the side. That time, that was, they just, Manlow read drop pass to Armstrong all the way and covered him and deflected the pass.
Well, it was a long, hard season for Peter Laviolette and the Providence Bruins. They dressed 70 different players over the course of the season. That's an American Hockey League record. Most of the team you see on the ice tonight spent most of the season in the NHL. At the end of the regular season, 11 players joined the Providence lineup from Boston. Another 2, Eris Bermanis and Jason Krog, who's not playing tonight, came down from the New York Islanders. So you can look at this roster and say it's pretty close to the same team that won the Cup last year, but this team has not played together much in the American Hockey League this season. You got to give a lot of credit to Peter Laviolette to get these guys on the same page in a short time.
I think he did a great job getting what he had into the playoffs. The coaching job he did, I could make an argument that he did a better coaching job this year than he did last year, where he sent those guys out, they played brilliantly. This year he had to manage and coach and put new guys together and keep everybody on one page till they made the playoffs. That was a back diagonal to Virtue coming down the middle as the third man, fourth man probably in the zone.
Hollinger gets it away to the near side. Laxinen plays up ahead. Manlow couldn't take the pass. Hall for Hartford dumps back in. Under 4.5 remaining here in the second. We're tied at 1. Here's Hall from the point. His shot blocked, bouncing around there and just cleared out to center nicely by Manlow. Puck back in the Providence end. Hollinger gets to Bremanis. Pass gets by Bremanis. Chris Wells keeps in. Down to the right wing side, Manny Malhotra gets after it. Centering pass here from Kennedy, and a good idea as he had Chris Wells coming up in the left wing circle. Providence carries out over center into the offensive zone. Wilson flips it over to the left. Manlow centering back for Wilson. Kicked away by LaVey. And the puck comes over to the near side. Harbour sends it through, and you better believe LaVey is going to hold on to this one as things are starting to break down in the Hartford end.
Well, Providence gets an excellent rush here. Some superb puck carrying through the middle of the ice. You see the diddle and the dangle. Well, that's excellent play. Good pressure. They weren't able to do much of that at all in the first period, but here they do an excellent job with Wilson coming down the chute. Gets it over on the left side to Manlow. Tries to stuff it in front by another shot by Wilson. Wilson not as much of a factor this year as he was last year in the AHL playoffs. That's the kind of thing he did on a frequent basis last year, and he has periods of time where you don't notice him, and other periods of time we say, my goodness.
Just his 9th game played, though he missed the first series and a half with injury. I don't think he's 100%.
And that's a significant factor. Last year he was immense in the Calder Cup playoffs for the Providence Bruins. And
he was immense in the Stanley Cup playoffs for the Boston Bruins before getting injured in that series as he hurt his shoulder.
Well, I was there the night he dislocated Primo from his helmet.
That was the game he ended up getting hurt after scoring a key goal. As the Bruins won that game, it was game 4, I believe. They evened up the series 2 games apiece.
Well, he can do some things.
LaVey plays it around. Headman pass from Bannister, gets by everybody. Daw and Downey get there together. The battle sort of went on as the puck got away from everyone. Brandon Smith hustles over for the Bruins. Goes in 2-on-2 with Perpick. Thought about dropping it, now keeps it inside. Up high, and if it's over Perpick's head, you know it's got to be real high. He's 6'7". Jeremy Brown from behind the net. Got it up on the netting. LaVey able to trap it down, and a little bit of bumping there as LaVey went into the net. Now we've got a Bruin down.
Somebody got popped right in the goal crease, right by the goal mouth. Jeremy Brown on the ice. Looked like LaVey got nicked too, Tom. He's over by the corner, bent over a bit. Looked like he's trying to catch his breath. Let's watch what happens. See if LaVey and Brown collide there. Let's watch. Oh, no, he just gets cross-checked to smithereens. Well, now they're even up. They're even up through the game. That's Doig cross-checking Brown. I mean, this is a major league cross-check.
There it is.
We saw Ferraro earlier cross-check Wiedehall. No call, so that's a no call for the other side. That evens off the cross-checks.
See, Brown, his 94th game this season. That's a marathon, folks.
He's just looking around. I know he said the perfect. No penalty? You know, perfect shook his head.
Last year, he had the series clinching goal against Hartford in Game 4 of that second round sweep for the Providence Bruins. He'd love to do that again.
He's been a good hockey player for this team. Native of Barrie, Ontario. 4 years of pro, 25 years old. Played in Wheeling, also played a year in Sweden. Played college hockey for Western Michigan. Had an assist to Bremanis, not Manlow on that goal. So Aris Bremanis.
So it's Ferraro from Nicholas and Bremanis at 12:20. 2:45 our time remaining here. J.F. LaVey has stopped 23 of 24. And you see the big crowd here at the Hartford Civic Center. Game 7.
Well, they've been disappointed in some of the crowds this year, but they certainly can't be disappointed today. They don't have a full house, but there's lots of filled seats.
Well, they've averaged 5,000 or so in the playoffs. They might be close to double that tonight.
I would say.
Ferraro sends it in. You wonder with the Bruins having the Boston Bruins such a regional appeal if there'd be a lot of Bruins fans tonight, but it has definitely been a Hartford crowd. Great home ice atmosphere here tonight.
Isolated black and gold. Sure. Pockets of black and gold.
No question. Used to be like that when the Bruins played the Whalers here. Puck up around the left wing side. Hollinger steps in to keep it on the wall. Jernander throws it out. Nice play there. Vital gets started. Hollinger and Armstrong in a great tussle. Each of them trying to draw the whistle.
Well, that was a clear penalty by Hollinger. but he got away with it, and it was an excellent play because he had Armstrong hooked. He got caught inside, was going to give up a 2-on-1 break, but he put the hook on Armstrong and no call. Good play because no call.
Excuse me, Bob. What he did was he had the hook, and then he sort of turned to make it look like Armstrong was holding his stick. So he got himself out of it.
That was a first-class hook.
Saved a 2-on-1. Wilson from a long way out on the wall. A rising shot there and clutched tightly by that man, J.F. Labbé, with 90 seconds remaining in a tie game. Period 2 here of Game 7. The winner takes on the Rochester Americans in the Calder Cup Finals. The loser will be thinking about this game all summer.
90 seconds. I had to look up and see how much time that was. Minute and 30.
Careful now. It's late in the season. I figured by now you were up to speed on
90 seconds, you were slipping a curveball by me. 90 seconds. How much time is that? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's a minute and 30 seconds.
We understand that regardless, the Calder Cup Finals will begin on Wednesday. Of course, Hartford would have home ice advantage by virtue of its regular season championship. Rochester would have home ice advantage if it were to play Providence for the second straight year in the finals. Rochester just steamrolled over Hershey in 4 straight wins.
Yeah.
And to make matters worse, they got Maxima Finneganov back from the World Championships. A great young rookie for the Buffalo Sabres this season will play in the finals for Rochester.
That'll all help. I'm not sure how much sitting all this time out is going to help them. There's no way that practice can simulate game conditions. So, you know they're practicing hard. You know that Brian McCullough hasn't worked real hard, but there's no way that you can approximate game conditions no matter how hard you scrimmage. You don't want to scrimmage all the time because you don't want to get anybody hurt.
That'll be 11 days off by the time they play on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I guarantee you ask Brian McCutcheon right now who they'd like to play, and he would not give you an answer, but he wouldn't mind seeing 5 or 6 overtimes by the time this one's done.
The other thing that's gone sort of slipping by this season is what a great job McCutcheon's done in his years with Rochester, and since he's been a pro coach, he's just done a marvelous job. And when you hear coaching opportunities being talked about in this league, you don't hear McCutcheon's name mentioned a lot, but he has been a great coach as a professional. He was an outstanding coach as a college coach as well, but boy, he's done a superb job with that Rochester team, and it's amazing to me that when they talk about head coaching opportunities, he doesn't get mentioned, but he's a good one.
Here's Brandon Smith, a low shot, and reaching down low. Labbé made the save, locks it from a tough angle, hit it off the side of the net. Beers stepping up now. The Bruins sense an opportunity, but it'll be P.J. Stock bringing it out for Hartford, bringing the crowd to its feet. A nice move there, but the hard pass went off the stick of Brad Smith. Laxonen back into the offensive zone for Providence. Puts on the brakes now, waits for the trailer. Wilson tees it up. Kick save made Labbé. There is a Bruin in the net. Manlow had to come out from behind Labbé after Labbé made the save. Puck down low on the left side. Graham on the other end has to make a save off the transition opportunity. A wild final couple of minutes here in Hartford for the second period.
Well, up and down action. I'll tell you, Providence really hustled back on the Hartford break, and then they had a good opportunity of their own. And Eric Manlow, number 7, who's one of their top scorers in the playoffs. Manlow with 14 points. Wilson, back diagonal pass to Wilson, the trail man in the zone. That was Manlow in the middle of the net. At Hartford, at the other, there's that shot by Wilson with Manlow stuck behind the goal crease. Goal by Manlow. So that one didn't count. Hartford comes up the other way, has a rush of their own.
That was the 20th shot on net this period for Providence. They've outshot Hartford 20-8 after being outshot 15-7 in the first. Joel Perpick. Boy, his face sort of says it all right now, doesn't it?
You bet.
See the intensity and the fatigue. It has been a long, hard series. It's a long ways from over. Hollinger behind the net gets it to Vandermeer on the near side. Peter Vandermeer plays it out, broken up as it came through by Jernander. Armstrong will get it at the center stripe. Give away here, Perpick with his long reach into the offensive zone. Fires one, Labbé, a quick glance over the shoulder, but he's got it.
He wasn't sure. 3-on-2 jump, and right as he crossed the blue line, Perpick wound up for slap shot, hoping that if he didn't get it in, that there might be a loose puck around the front of the net, and he could get some guys to circle to the front. So Perpick takes that shot, and wisely, looking to his right, make sure he has it. Labbé freezes the puck because you have black and gold shirts coming right to the front of the net off that bid by Perpick. 19.3 remaining. Perpick off the face-off. Who's taking the face-off? Stock.
Looks like Stock will go up against it. Look at the difference in shots.
Stock's done a nice job tonight off face-off. They just get killed by Perpick in Game 4. This time they seem to have got that settled out with Stock taking the face-off.
Yeah, they've pulled a switch. It was Daw taking most of the face-offs against Perpick. Now in the second period, Stock has stepped in and has been doing a great job. It'll be a left wing circle draw to the right of LaBay. Perpick wins it, gets it back for Manis. Around the left side, Nicholas down behind the net, tried to get a piece of it. It comes up, Brandon Smith steps up and keeps it in. Final 10 seconds of the period. Battle in the corner now. Nicholas in there, Perpick hammering away, trying to get after it. The final seconds wind down and the second period has come to an end. We have played 22 periods of hockey in this series and nothing has been decided. We go to the final period of the final game of the Eastern Conference Finals, and the score is tied at 1. A great turnaround in that period by the Bruins, though, Norris.
Well, I think that right at the beginning of the period, Tommy, they dumped the puck in the zone, and that was the key element in turning the momentum around. Nice coaching by the coaching staff to get them out of that carry mode, and they got it in deep and were able to put a little pressure on, generate a little more offense.
Brad Smith for Hartford in the first. Peter Ferraro for Providence in the second. Catch a drink, sit back. We're headed for the final period after the conference finals. Somebody's going to go on to face Rochester. Will it be Peter Laviolette's team? Will it be John Paddock's team? The next 20 minutes may tell us.
Well, Tommy, when you got two brilliant goaltenders and you do have two superb goalies here in LaBay and Graham, I just think that, and his goals have been very dear in this series and certainly dear tonight, I just think the next goal is the game winner. I mean, it may not be, but I just have a feeling that whoever scores that next one will go up 2-1. It's going to be very, very much an uphill climb to win the hockey game. So I'm going to call it next goal wins. We'll see.
We are underway. The third period of the game, knocked ahead by Landon Wilson. Then he lost his edge and went down. Puck out to neutral ice. The Bruins in the road blacks. Skating left to right as you look at it in third. Hartford in the red, white, and blue home unis. Skating right to left. Yeah, it's the third period. Yeah, it's Game 7. But Peter Laviolette says the best way to get these players ready for this game is to just act like it's another day at the office.
You know what? It's another hockey game. I know that my team is going to come out there and play their hearts out. I'm positive of that. It's not like I'm worried about how hard we'll play or if we'll show up. I know they're going to show up. In saying that, I know Hartford's going to show up as well, and that's when the facts are that there's two great teams and only one's going on, and you get worked up about it, but we're going out to play a hockey game. And, we're fortunate for that.
I saw Peter Laviolette before the game and said, I know you'd rather not see us here. You would have liked to get this done. And he said, hey, this is Game 7. Some guys play a long time without having this sort of intensity, this sort of pressure. He embraced it.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I think that that's all true. It is not just another game, though. And we see Coach Paddock and Coach Laviolette say that, every era has more impact, and every misplay and every penalty. And if it was just another game, we'd have some retaliatory penalties. You don't see any of that out here, and the referees don't referee it the same way. We've had things happen out here that ordinarily would have called for a penalty. They haven't been penalized tonight. Good job by the official, but you can't tell me he's called everything out there that could potentially have been called.
No question.
Everybody out here knows it's just not another game.
And in the third period, you'll have to be pretty blatant to get the call. Here's Wilson with a nice diving poke check by Terry Virtue. Thwarts the bid.
Yeah, he dangled it 1-2 times too many. Should have just fired that puck on net and taken his chances.
There's an almost giveaway. Wilson got a piece of it. Laxton now left wing circle. He turns and tries to fire. Virtue again with the block. He got it up ahead. Brad Smith. He got this game started with a goal just past the minute mark of the first period at 1:03. Tried to get it started, but an offside call there. Here we go through 40 minutes of play. One for Hartford. It came from Brad Smith in the first. One for Providence. It came from Peter Ferraro in the second. No penalties in the second period. As you see, just one power play in the entire game. There have only been 3 penalties called here through 40 minutes and 58 seconds.
Well, each team has had a period to dominate. Virtue does a nice job here. The puck is deflected by Virtue. Watch him as Wilson comes across. Virtue comes out to play him, reaches out with a stick and knocks it away. That's when I mentioned one dangle too many trying to go by Virtue. Virtue poked it away from him, nullified the opportunity.
The Bruins are able to clear. Excuse me, Bob.
Anybody's period here. You saw one team dominate the first, Hartford, another team dominate the second, Providence, and which team is going to come out here and take charge in this period, or are both going to turn into an up and down even period? It has not been that thus far in the game. One team has clearly had advantage.
Perpick tried to get up after it. He was tied up just enough by Jason Doig. Puck comes out to neutral ice. And you can see here in the early going, each
center
team
ice game
carrying it up to center and dumping in. No team wants to make the mistake that could cost him this series. Hollinger fires in. Eric Nicholas going in alone as the rest of his line changes up. He's tied up behind the net. Back out the other way comes Hartford. Savage had been in there offensively momentarily. Now Graham behind the net. Graham out of the college ranks as a third-year pro, has never been in this type of game before in a game 7. Pass comes in ahead of Savage, and LaBay reaches out quickly to cover it up. Savage got a little stick up behind him and went down in a heap, but he's okay.
LaBay takes a lot of face-offs. He's one that recognizes the situation he doesn't like, and that was one of them, because he thought that Providence was going to get to that puck first, and he throws it, get a face-off. Now he's got an opportunity for his team to maintain control, because Hartford has been doing a much better job on face-offs than they did the other night. You see the play there. He sees the attack coming into the zone with Savage, and he takes the face-off. Because if that puck had gone by the goal line, behind the goal line, Savage would have been the first man on it.
We said John Graham was playing in a must-win, a winner-take-all game at the end of a series for the first time. LaBay, meantime, as you've been pointing out, it's 15th time he's in a game facing elimination. So certainly experience-wise, you got to give the advantage to LaBay between the goaltenders.
Yeah, and as we mentioned before, if you weren't watching, he's 11-3 in those games when his team faced elimination. That's a pretty impressive record.
4-0 this year alone. Into the offensive zone. Now the Bruins never got control. It comes back out the other way, and we're going to have a whistle here. Matching penalties between.
Yeah, I think they're going to take off Wells and Ferraro.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way you're going to see it, unless it's a blatant penalty. Clearly, the official has set a tone for the game, and that has been, we're going to let the teams play, and it has been a well-officiated game. I think in this third period, if you see them go, unless there's something clearly disturbing a scoring opportunity, you're going to see matching shots. Here's Peter. The Long Island Ferraros. Wells a tough customer, 6'6", 223-pounder out of Calgary. Got a little high stick. See, Wells got the stick high on Ferraro, and Ferraro came right back at him.
So we go 4-a-side for the second time tonight.
I tell you, a guy who has seen more and more ice time as his season has gone along is young Mr. Beers.
And he has looked good.
You bet. I thought in Game 4, the last game we did, I thought he was one of the best players on the ice for Providence. Played a very strong game, and he's getting mucho minutes here tonight.
There at center ice, nice quick touch pass from Smith. Here's Jason Daw with room. Daw, left side, save. Graham, he came out and cut down the angle, challenging the shooter. Here's on the other side, Landon Wilson with a breakaway. Wilson comes in, Wilson with the forehand, scores! Landon Wilson gives the Bruins their first lead of the game.
Well, this is a great individual play by Wilson. Wilson, not 100% physically, makes a move off this play as if he's going to the front side of the net. And he gets LaBay to come with him. LaBay's anticipating him going across the goal mouth. Now, Graham makes a great save to start this whole play in motion. With 17-11 in the period, Graham smothers the shot. Now we head up the other way. Break on the outside. Now Wilson, watch him go off the backhand as if he's going to see. He got LaBay to step toward the backhand side, came back inside, near post side, just stuffed the forehand. That's a great move. You saw that deke. He convinced LaBay he was going backhand, and he went forehand on him. Second goal for Wilson. Big goal. Huge.
His second of the playoffs. And in the third period of Game 7, the Bruins have their first lead of this game.
Unassisted.
They'll probably change that.
I think they will change
the
that.
save was made. I think it was Beers who got it up ahead of him, but the defenseman flipped it up ahead as Wilson took off. Now here comes Hartford looking for the equalizer. Going from a tough angle, took the shot, stick to side there by Graham. Rebound sits loose. And it's carried out now by Jeremy Brown. He'll take over center and dump in. You will see a lot of that here.
Well, they've been doing much more of it since the second period began. They just tried to penetrate the defense and overcarried in the first period and overpassed in the first period and got nothing going offensively. They changed that around in the second and went to the dump as a big part of the offense, and that was a huge help.
Perpick fired it in on net. LaBay with the stop. Out comes Hartford. Armstrong has to reel it in and get it back to Doig. Doig, cross-ice pass. Purinton over center. Up ahead for Daw. Poked off his stick. Manlow into the offensive zone. Eric Manlow driven into the wall by Dale Purinton, but Landon Wilson came away with the puck. Now Terry Virtue has it. He'll send it out length of the ice. It'll just miss the crease. Graham has to play and now has to cover up as it came back to him. That would have been icing, so he had to cover up. Landon Wilson not liking Armstrong.
Purinton just is usually in a bad mood out there.
Dale Purinton with 6 suspensions this season. Last year had 306 penalty minutes all told.
Pretty effective player, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brings a physical presence to the game out there. He's a native of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Played junior hockey way up there in Lethbridge, and his one of his defensive partners up in Lethbridge was Kyle McLaren.
That's right.
They were the Western Hockey League champions and went to the Memorial Cup Finals. That's 2 pretty good players. McLaren, certainly one of the top young defensemen in the National Hockey League. Purinton's 23 years old.
Here off the draw, Brandon Smith fired one in. It was blocked out behind the net. Drew Bannister gets it away, but not out. Kept in by Savage. Knocked out of the air by LaBay.
Yeah, keep shooting it on the net.
I beg your pardon. That was Vandermeer, not Savage. 18, not 19. Vandermeer out there with Jeremy Brown and Joel Perpick. Armstrong on the brakes behind his own net. Got it away to the far side. Hartford clears out to neutral ice. They have added the assist on the goal. I said it was Beers. It was the other defenseman, Smith. Brandon Smith gets the assist on Landon Wilson's goal. It is the difference right now, but it is early in the third period. Late in the series, though. Game 7 here between the Wolfpack and the Bruins. Hartford now looking for the equalizer. Armstrong trying to get it ahead for Vital.
That was pretty well defended there. They did a good job of picking up the trail man there. Denied the back pass. Good solid defense. Good back checking. That's what you need to do.
That was Beers out there again. Here Beers with trouble in it. Manlow comes back to get it away to the wide wall. He got it up but not out. Good job by Hartford to keep it. Kennedy unloads. He fires on net. Graham made the save. Puck loose on the left wing side. Manlow trying to get in after it. Banks it up ahead. Wells blocked it momentarily. Now it comes out to neutral ice.
You don't see Graham get beat very often from downtown. He's very good on those long shots. Watch out here.
He can get in trouble that way, and he has from time to time as he came out and got momentarily paralyzed there. Now he's going to get the stoppage in play with a low glove save off Chris Wells. If there has been a criticism of John Graham in this series and in the playoffs, he will occasionally range out at the not opportune times, and then he sort of gets paralyzed when he doesn't decide what to do with it right off.
But, you know, I'd rather have somebody be aggressive like that. That's all correctable. As the guy gets more experience, no one did that more than Cheevers and learned how to do it as he gained more experience as a goaltender. People used to say the same thing about Cheevers, that he'd get himself out in no man's land and play very aggressively out of the net. Of any of the kind of failures a goaltender would have, that's one you can live with because you can always moderate that, and guys will do that just naturally as they get older. It's a young man's habit.
26 out of 27 shots stopped by Graham in this one. Bruins out shooting the Wolfpack 31-27. Left wing circle draw won by the Bruins as Bermanis gets it to Hollinger behind the net. They'll bank it out to neutral ice. Klocek back there for Hartford. Tomasz Klocek plays it up ahead. Now Smith will get it back to Klocek. Klocek out of the Czech Republic. First round pick in 1996 by the Rangers.
You know, this is the kind of game that they miss Marquis Mathieu. You know, obviously Cameron Mann not having him tonight, but Mathieu's injury, you know, has had a dramatic impact on this team because he's very good in these situations.
Here's a giveaway in front. What a great spinning attempt by Jeremy Brown, but LaBay just a bit better in that confrontation. Brad Smith has the lone Hartford goal, fires one through a crowd. Save made. Graham rebound taken wide by the Bruins. Pass banks off the near side. Brown with a full head of steam. He won't get there in time, and LaBay will get the whistle again. JF LaBay keeping his team in it. Bruins leading it 2-1 in the third. Welcome back. Here it's Game 7, third period, 2-1 the score. J.F. Labbé has stopped 31 of 33 shots.
Manlow and Brown combined on a good scoring bid. As you pointed out, Tommy, earlier on, Manlow's been a factor all series long. Brown gets it on a little spin-around move just in front of the net. Labbé anticipated that play across and made the stop, and that's what you want to see Providence do. If you want to see Providence win, you want them to get some scoring chances. There's too much time left to sit back on your heels here and play defensively. They've got to continue to take advantage of opportunities and press the tempo.
Puck in the corner, Providence controlling here, shot Nicholas. He broke the stick on the attempt, and it never really got through to Savage, who was set up in front. Daw back the other way, his shot blocked and high up into the seats.
You know, Tom, one of the things that's a little bit different at this stage of the game, if you were down a goal, you might, if you're a defenseman, your defensive might take some chances sliding down the boards to keep a puck in or to make a play. When you're up by a goal, your defenseman's going to play it smart. He'll make a play to keep the puck in the zone, but they're not going to slide down the boards to try to keep the puck in if there's any even remote chance that they could give up a 2-on-1. So the defenseman, that's the one thing you can control. Defenseman on the points being cautious about when they slide. But the forechecking effort and the kind of pressure you put on, it's far too early to back off that.
Downey out at center ice. Tried to flip it out to Perpick. Broken up, Mike Harder had it. Hartford gets it back in the defensive zone. Out to center. Gano into the offensive zone. Gano's shot. Saved by Graham. Rebound sat down in front of him. He thought he had it. Brown tries to clear. Kept in nicely by Bannister. Now it's blocked and cleared out by Jeremy Brown. Daniel Gano, originally drafted by the Boston Bruins. Couldn't come to terms, went back into the draft, was redrafted 2 years later by the Rangers. Would love to eliminate the affiliate of the team that originally drafted him.
Yeah, he had a very strong first period.
Puck out at neutral ice. Played up ahead now. Tuzzolino into the offensive zone. Tony Tuzzolino centering pass. Gano sent it wide. He was set up, had Graham dead to rights. He put it up high and just a bit wide, and now a little frustration from Tony Tuzzolino after an excellent opportunity in front on the feed from Tuzzolino to Daniel Gano.
Well, Daniel Gano shakes loose from a check here and breaks into the zone. This is anything low along the ice is a goal here. They're going to lose control of Gano right over there on the right side as you look at it. And he just misses. He misses that by about 3 feet. Saw Downey lose him coming back into the zone. Downey trying to spin, loses an edge. And Gano, who's got speed, went right by him. That wasn't even close.
No, that was headed to New Haven. Played a game up with the Rangers this season. A couple of years back, 3 years ago now to be exact, he had a tremendous start to his pro career. He scored 5 goals in his first 6 games with the Rangers. Things settled down, and he wound up playing most of that season in the AHL. 32 points this year, 15 goals and 17 assists in 51 games, battled some injuries.
Well, that could have been one that the Hartford Wolfpack could very, very much have used, because this game is sort of hitting the halfway mark and they're still down a goal. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the third period, I thought the first goal of this game had a great chance of holding up, just because as the game goes along in these kind of situations, you know, there's sort of, no matter how much these guys have been around, there's a little panic sets in, because you're looking at elimination and there is a tendency to get a little one-on-one-ish and stay away, to get out of the team concept. However, there's also a tendency for the team that's got the lead to try to sit on it a little bit too early, get back on the heels and let the other team take the tempo away. And I think that Providence is right on the edge of letting that happen to them.
Hartford wins the draw. Purinton on the left point. Up ahead for Armstrong. He's checked into the wall. Brandon Smith on Armstrong, and the puck comes away into the offensive zone. Laxton puts on the brakes. Tries to slide it through, but it's broken up. Headman pass now to Armstrong. Tried to get that stride around Bob Pierce, but what a great play, using the position, using his body to steer him off the puck. Now a giveaway here in the offensive zone. Hartford takes it there. Wilson, bouncing puck, knocked off it by Jernander. Battle on the wall. Armstrong comes away with it, sends it on net. Redirected wide as Beers got a piece of it. Vital knocked off it by Brandon Smith. Kept in by Todd Hall. Glove down in front by Beers. Bring it out and play it all the way up on net. Nice play by the veteran defenseman. He's played so well in this series that some newspaper writers have suggested he think about trying to come back to the NHL next season. Bob Beers, who retired with a contract in hand from the Tampa Bay Lightning, saw the opportunity to become the radio analyst for the hometown team, settled down with the family in New England, and has no designs of going back to the NHL, he says. He's just having fun, trying to play for a second straight cup. He did it last year after the Bruins season.
Well, you know, I'm not a scout, and I'm not looking for his job. But I'll tell you one thing. He's right now, he's playing exceptionally well. There's no question in my mind that his game is very, very solid. He's in excellent physical shape. He makes his own personal life choices for his own personal reasons. But I'll tell you, he can still play, and he can play in the NHL and help somebody on defense. He's a very talented guy. He's playing with exceptional smarts right now. And I'll tell you something. I've watched him a long time. I've seen him since he was a kid playing at the University of Maine, and he's playing as well now as I've ever seen him play as he's gotten into the tempo of this thing. But, you know, people make personal choices for all sorts of reasons, and when they're personal reasons having to do with family, they're usually the right ones.
Played up ahead for Jason Daw out to neutralize. Broken up by Savage. Daw on the second effort sends it in. Terry Hollinger behind the net. To get it out on the wall, it was broken up there by Virtue, and by virtue of his efforts, it's kept in. Score! The shot came in, it was redirected. Brad Smith gets his second of the game. And the Hartford fans come to life here at the Civic Center.
Well, this is the deflection by Brad Smith. Keep your eye on 11. He's going to go to the front of the net. The puck is going to come from the outside. On net, Brad Smith in front, allowed to stand there, deflects it. No chance at all for Graham. You sort of could see this goal coming because Providence had gotten a little bit on their heels, just throwing the puck away. A tip inside by Smith, and he gets his 9th of the year. You know, 10th of the year. Excuse me, had 9. That's his 10th. Thanks, Tony.
Second of the game for Brad Smith. He scored at 1:03 of the first, and now just a few seconds shy of midway through the third. He gets a piece of it to get the equalizer. P.J. Stock will get an assist. He blasted it from the point. Don't know if there'll be a second assist. Puck comes in on net. LaBaye steers it wide. 2-2 our score. Less than 10 minutes to go in the third period of Game 7. Peter Vandermeer for the Bruins. Back in neutralize. Has it knocked off his stick by Chris Wells. Hartford aggressively forechecking here. Jeff Wells gets the whistle and then had the stick come in on him as Kennedy was trying to poke it clear. Perpick takes exception. You know, the whistle was blown.
There's nothing intentional that happens, but this game was pretty much all Providence in the second period. I thought they came out and established some control at the beginning of the third period. They got the goal, and then with about the 12-minute mark, with 12 minutes left in the period, 13 minutes left, I thought they started to sit on a little bit and just not control the puck well on their own end, to be a little impatient with the breakout passes as they came out. You saw Ferraro just slip the puck up the boards, and all of a sudden it ends up on P.J. Stock's stick, and he flips it in front. Last 3:18 without a shot, and that sort of goes in line with what we said with about 3 minutes ago, that they just looked as if they had lost the edge, and now they've got to stop Hartford because Hartford has the edge, and they now have this big crowd screaming behind them. So it's a difficult thing, once lost, to find again.
It is a loud arena, the Hartford Civic Center. 10,000 plus on hand for tonight's game. 10,623 the announced attendance.
You know, they haven't won much in this building.
Draw comes back. Purinton tried to fire it in. Legal hand pass attempted, but it came up and out of play. Manlow tried to get rid of it. Eric Manlow has been outstanding. Points in 9 of 13 games coming into tonight's battle. In this playoff series, he has 5 points, but he has been kept off the score sheet in the last 2 games, plus 2+ periods tonight.
Well, he was on the score sheet, and then they eliminated him.
That's right. He was scribbled off the score sheet.
That's right.
At least mine. Didn't bring the white out. Left wing circle draw. The Bruins get it around behind the net. Brandon Smith there. Lays it up on the far side. It comes out to neutral ice. Todd Hall there. Lays it up ahead at center. Wilson knocks down a man. Puck plays up ahead. Laxton into the offensive zone. Back for Wilson. Couldn't quite get the shot off as the bouncing puck went over his stick. Landon Wilson has really stepped up in this third period. He's been outstanding. Laxton trying to get in ahead. He's checked by Purinton. Puck's given away on the far side. Laxton turns, sends one on net. LaBay gloves it down. 8:53 remaining in regulation here in Game 7. LaBay and the Wolfpack all tied up with Graham and the Bruins.
Welcome back, everyone. Game 7, Providence at the Hartford Civic Center. Providence and Hartford knotted at 2. Brad Smith's goal tied it at 9:47 from P.J. Stock. For the highlights of today's game here in Hartford, today's Red Sox game against the Tigers and more, check out NESN Sports Desk. Bob Rogers brings you up to date with the goings-on. Well, baseball, the NBA, the NHL playoffs, and much, much more. NESN Sports Desk tomorrow morning starting at 5 here on NESN. There's a fan.
As we said, pockets of black and
hard
gold.
to find here.
In the red, white, and blue clad Hartford Civic Center. As we said, more than 10,000 on hand tonight. 2 goals from Brad Smith.
Yep, that's Brad Smith right there. The furthest of the two. Farthest of the two.
As we said, the all-time scoring leader in Hartford playoff history. 43 points now in 3 postseasons. That's pretty good.
Well, they just couldn't keep him away from the front of the net on that little flipper shot from P.J. Stock.
We talk about it a lot during the course of the season, but Stock's shot was on net.
That's the idea.
Now kept in by Virtue again at the point. He sends it in. It came through to Graham. Graham made the initial save. The rebound was sent wide. Left point. Klocek blasts one by everybody. And Peter Ferraro sends it out. Klocek back after it for the Wolfpack. His clearing bid was blocked by Savage, who gets after it in the corner. Andre Savage now trying to buy himself some time to operate in the right wing circle. He turns on it. Now it's cleared away. Stock got down there and broke it up. Puck came up and out of play. A deafening crowd now here, gaining momentum in the third period of what's become a terrific hockey game.
Well, this last play was called. Once again, Peter Ferraro had the puck on the left boards and had an unforced turnover to the point. Now, see, watch Ferraro here. Not really pressured. He just coughs the puck up, gets possession over the point. Trouble now. Watch out inside as P.J. Stock, and what a factor he's been the last few minutes with a helper on the Brad Smith goal right in the middle of the mucking around in front of the net.
Peter Laviolette. Last year, the team never faced elimination in the postseason. This year, swept through the first 2 rounds. Had a 3-1 lead in this series after the double overtime win a week ago. Now, battling for its life, as are the Wolfpack. But the Wolfpack doing it for the 3rd straight game. Battle in the corner now. Dug out by Perpick. Couldn't quite get the shot up. Puck sits loose. Wolfpack able to pull it away. Kennedy will just bank it out to neutral ice. Let a little steam leak out of that pressure cooker in the defensive zone. Up ahead of the blue line. Gets by everybody. Aaron Downey trying to barrel in after it. He's tied up by Bannister. Gano out behind the net. Lost his edge. Went down. Dwayne Harmer for the Bruins. Banks it up to the blue line. Hartford takes it there. 7.5 remaining in the third. We're tied up. Dumped in left wing corner. Hartford changing on the fly here. Harmer around the end boards, gets it all the way around to center ice. Hall is there for the pack. Hall off the wall. Got by Kennedy. Jeff Wells touches up. Bruins thought it'd be icing. No do it. Either way at the wall there as Mike Harder tried to send it out in front. Jeremy Brown plays it out to neutral ice. At the blue line, Wells and Gano were tied up. Purinton tries to send in. Harmer brings it out over center. Fires it on net. Low glove save made. LaBay holds on with Laxton trying to hustle up the middle.
Well, a lot of sparring in the center of the ice. Both teams sort of trying to make some offense come through the middle, and either team successful in doing so. Shots from well outside as we look at Ante Laxton. Little flipper shots, and back it comes the other way. Harmer with the shot from center zone. Most of the time, you're not going to score from there, but both teams trying to be very conscientious on defense in the middle of the ice. No one wants to give the other team a break. Goal here, 6:52 remaining. Huge.
It'll be a left wing circle draw to the right of LaBaye. Taken by the Wolfpack. Purinton will take it around the near side. And Hall will take it back behind his net. Bruins back in their own end. Get it started now. And the whistle comes. 6:34 our time remaining here in the third period. The Bruins lost game one here in Hartford. 2-1 the score of that. They then reeled off the next 3 wins, including that double overtime win last Sunday at the Providence Civic Center. Came here for game 5. Had a 2-0 lead in the final minute of the second period. Armstrong for Hartford got a goal to make it 2-1, and then Hartford scored 2 in the third and got the victory 3-2. And then Friday night at the Civic Center in Game 6, it was Hartford again, 5-3, an empty net goal there. The slimmest of margins separating these two teams all year long, and that is true again tonight. Here's Vita Hall, kicks it up ahead of the stick, tried one more time. It was tied up long enough by Beers for Brandon Smith to get it away to Antti Laaksonen. He fakes it, puts on the brakes now, tried to drop it back for the trailing Smith. Nicholas coming through, lost his stick. That's the second time that's happened here in the third period. All the way back up ice, Derek Armstrong, end of a long shift, tried to center it there. Vita Hall gets after it. Armstrong, driven to the rocks by Bramanis. Puck under there somewhere, you see it. Bramanis trying to draw the whistle, he finally does. Under 6 minutes remain.
Little byplay down at the other end with Virtue and Nicholas. Nicholas lost his stick, and after they went down the ice, he tried to take Virtue's away from him. They ended up a tug of war over Virtue's stick.
I need one of those.
I need one of those.
All right, I'll take mine.
I got my own.
Former teammates last year in Providence. John Paddock's team, 107 points during the regular season. We said they survived a scare in the first round as the Springfield Falcons outplayed them in games 2 and 3 and had a 2-1 lead. Then Hartford put it away with a couple of wins, including a big 7-2 win in the decisive Game 5. Paddock is one of those coaches being spoken about in NHL circles. He's been there before, coached the Winnipeg Jets, GM in Winnipeg and in Phoenix. Certainly the Rangers organization will look at him when deciding who to replace John Muckler with. First they need a GM. Then say they're retiring this week, or not retiring, resigning this week in Edmonton, considered to be the front runner for the GM job in New York. Brown dumps it in. 5.5 minutes remaining here. It's Game 7 of the finals, the conference finals. The winner will go to the Calder Cup Finals against Rochester. Here's Smith. He has 2. Into the offensive zone. Snaps one off. High over the crossbar. P.J. Stock battling in after it. Stock tied up back there. The Bruins get back. Terry Hollinger sends it across. Long pass. Doig almost broke it up, but they dodge the bullet and get it out. Now Bramanis, the defenseman, dropping back for Perpick. Perpick sending it around. Brown never got it. He took a weird care of him in the corner. Doig had trouble with it. Now Daw sends it out to center ice. Less than 5 minutes to go. We're tied at 2. Brad Smith with 2 for Hartford. Peter Ferraro, Landon Wilson, the goals for Providence. 1-0 Hartford after 1. 1-1 after 2. Each side has scored in the third. Jeff Wells runs into trouble. Puck loose there in the left wing circle. Hustling back now. Savage lets Brown carry over center and dump in. Savage and Henderson going back behind the net for the 2-man forecheck. Bouncing puck gets by Henderson and out to center ice. Wells, cross ice pass to the left side. Harmer gets drilled by Chris Kennedy, but he got the dump in done. On the wall, Malhotra gets it started. Andy Malhotra tries to cut back, had it knocked off his stick, and now gets it back. Malhotra from the blue line sends it wide to the right. 4 minutes remaining in regulation. 2-2 our score. Klochek at his own blue line, up to center now. Glove there by Graham, he leaves it behind the net. This is Brandon Smith, the defenseman, captain of the Providence Bruins, sends it up ahead. Klochek, quick touch pass for Jernando, the captain of the Wolfpack. Vitahall can't get to it as it's sticked into the corner by the goaltender Graham.
He's dangerous, Vitahall.
Anderson tried to clear, he couldn't. Here's Virtue playing it down low. Vitahall centering pass, save made. Graham rebound, sits out, and the Bruins will send it away. No sooner did you say it, Norts, than Vitahall almost made this a one-goal game for Hartford late. Laxinen sending it out in front. Wilson couldn't square himself to the net. John Paddock before the game saying one of the keys to this series was getting Vitahall back. He was injured in game 1 against Worcester, sliced his wrist. Didn't return until game 3 of this series. Bouncing puck out in front. It gets away from everybody and out to neutral ice. Less than 3 to go. Final minutes of the third period. It's game 7 and we're tied at 2. PJ Stock into the offensive zone. Graham ranges out. He plays it up ahead. Stock comes barreling in. Daw tries to dig it off the wall. Bodies flying there. Perpik gets up. Puck loose in the corner. Perpik gets it away to Laxinen. Laxinen will get it out of the defensive zone just barely and does clear it away to the far blue line. Puck up ahead through neutral ice. Big chop clear, kept in by Brad Smith. Smith for the hat trick, save made. Graham. Smith gets after the rebound, and it comes out to neutral ice. Perpik into the offensive zone. Joel Perpik tries to fire the screen shot, save made. Rebound out in front. Hartford controls and does clear out to neutral ice. 2 minutes remaining here in the third. Drew Bannister down in the corner, flips it up. It'll be gloved and kept in nicely by Dwayne Harmer. He's getting badgered and beaten down there by Kennedy, and he gets it back in neutral ice. At the blue line, Wilson sent in, the puck ahead of him. Bannister behind the net, plays it over to the far side. It comes out. Beers has to take it at neutral ice, plays it back for Brandon Smith. Smith at the blue line to the far side, dumped in by Ferraro. Blocked, and now in a second effort, Ferraro tried to dump in. He sends it into the seats. Now you see Ferraro dumped down by Kennedy. No retaliation here. 1:28 remaining. We're tied at 2 in the third period of Game 7.
Welcome back, everyone. Nail-biting time here at the Civic Center in Hartford. This has been a goalies period. Both goalies playing so well. John Graham keeps that one out as a little flipper shot by the awfully talented Johan Vitahall, and then LaBay at the other end. He's been excellent all period long as well. Perpik. I'd like to get that rebound cleared out of there pretty quickly. Both goaltenders have played so well throughout this whole series. LaBay and Graham. 1:28 remaining in regulation. Someone's going to have to lose. It's been a pretty evenly played third period since a 2-2 goal by Hartford. I thought they were just going to get that momentum going after they scored that goal, but Providence done a nice job of settling things down and having a very even last 9 or 10 minutes of the game. Both teams with some chances, but not a lot for either.
Wilson lays a hit. Pierce fires it through a screen. Save made. LaBay. Rebound controlled by Laxinen. He sends it in front. Manlow tried to reach out. Smith tried to play it in front. This could be an odd man rush. Armstrong up on the right side. He goes in with Vitahall. Armstrong tries the screen shot. Puck loose in the slot. Cleared away to the far side. Final minute of play. Tied at 2 here in period 3. Puck cleared out by the Bruins. Bouncing in. LaBay plays it up ahead. Klocek, the pass ahead. Armstrong on the right side. Armstrong tries to go in alone. Tied up by Hollinger. Bruins control. Off the glass, they get it out to neutral ice. Puck bounces, it's poked ahead. Perpik has some room, a 3-on-1. Perpik goes in. His shot blocked, rebound, sits out in front. Vandermeer tries to stuff in. It's up on the netting, and the whistle comes just as the puck came off the net.
Wow,
3-on-1 for the Bruins in the final minute, and they were unable to get the shot on LaBay.
What a great chance. What a spectacular chance as this 3-on-1 develops in center zone. Perpik with the puck. Comes into the zone. Brilliantly played on the inside. Blocked there defensively by number 7, Drew Bannister. And he coughed the puck up in game 4. But boy, what a play he made right there. Watch this play by Bannister as he deflects that shot. Nice play. Good job by LaBay. And they just can't force that puck in. 10,623 here at the Civic Center in Hartford, and most appreciative of the effort of J.F. LaBay with 28.9 seconds remaining in the third period before we go to OT.
39 saves for LaBay, 32 for Graham. Hollinger from the left side fires it around. Nicholas from the wall tried to play it out in front. Daw there breaks it up. It comes ahead to Stock. Stock tried to get it out, badgered by Nicholas. Offsides the call. 13.5 seconds remaining on the scoreboard. Eric Nicholas and the Bruins. Nicholas has an assist. It came on the Ferraro goal back at 12:20 of the second. Brad Smith got it started for Hartford at 1:03 of the first. 1-0 after one, Wolfpack. They outshot the Bruins 15-7. Peter Ferraro tied it up at 12:20 of the second. The Bruins outshot the Pack 21-8 in that second period. A very evenly played third period. Landon Wilson for the Bruins. Brad Smith his second for the Wolfpack. The Bruins with 13 shots in this period, 11 for the Wolfpack.
Well, this is going to make 8 of 11 games these two teams have played. They've been decided by one goal.
Puck in the defensive zone for the Pack. They get it up ahead. Smith into the offensive zone.
Offside. Delayed
offside call there as Stock had already gone in on the left side with just under 3 seconds remaining in regulation.
I think a tip of the cap to Tim Peel and the officiating crew tonight. They've done a very, very good job. You know, the best thing about the officials, if you look at the game, we played 3 periods, haven't noticed them. A couple of calls that they might have made, but obviously referee Peel decided to let the game be played, and anything he let go didn't have any impact on the game, nor did it change the emotion of the game.
Just one power play in this game. It was for Hartford. It came back in the first period. There have been a couple of matching penalties, and that's it. Dumped in from center ice. And we have played 7 games in the Eastern Conference Finals, and we're not done.
We don't have a winner.
We do not have a winner to this series.
You can't be done until you have a winner.
I can tell you one thing. The final score of the final game will be 3-2.
That's right.
But these two teams head to the locker room and they head to overtime. 7th and final game of the Eastern Conference Finals. The winner plays Rochester. The loser goes home. And the next goal will win this series. Stay with us. We could be settling in for an unbelievable game. It already has been here at the Hartford Civic Center. Remember when you were a kid and you played shinny on the pond, you said next goal wins? That's what we've got here. It's game 7, and we are going to sudden death, sudden life. If you score the goal, you go on to play the Rochester Americans. If you give up that goal, you'll be thinking about it for a long time to come.
I think it was a great Kurt Gowdy that called it sudden victory.
Sudden victory. Let's be positive about this. Glass half full. In overtime, Hartford hasn't won. Twice they've gone to overtime in this postseason. You see they're 0-2. They lost the double overtime game to Providence last Sunday. They lost an overtime game in Game 2 against the Springfield Falcons in the first round.
He may not score, but the guy that would scare me a little bit is Vita Hall.
Here's Laxonen from a tough angle and a stick save made there, LaBay. So often these things end quickly at the start of an overtime. Somebody wins a draw and takes off. LaBay made the stop there. Laxonen has an overtime goal.
Yep.
He scored a double overtime goal in the second round against Lowell. Jeff Wells scored the double overtime goal last Sunday in the win for Peter Laviolette's team. Andre Savage, the other overtime goal, that came against Quebec. So Providence, as you saw, 3-0 in the playoffs in overtime.
No, Laxon hasn't had the puck much tonight, which makes it particularly dangerous here.
A fresh shooter, if you will. Wilson barrels in after it. And the whistle blown quickly as they went behind it. Wilson scoring in the third for the Bruins. Brad Smith getting his second of the game in the third. That's why we're here in overtime. And as you see, the shots in the third period favoring Providence 13-11. Favoring Providence 41-34 in the game. And as you said, the stat that impresses me, just one power play in this game. A great job by the officials tonight. Tim Peel, Harry Amian, and Marty DeMera.
You know, not really a 41-34 game with shots on goal. It sort of indicates a kind of game where there's not much defense, but that certainly hasn't been the case either. You know, just from that third period, Vita Hall was just dangerous every time he got his stick on the puck, and he's a guy that you just, if you're on the Providence Bruins side, just got to be concerned about. But right now they have a face-off to the left of LaBay right as we look at it. There's Manlow on the face-off.
Off the try, it comes back to Wilson now. Wilson sends one just wide. Manlow battling in against a pair of Wolfpack skaters, and Brad Smith comes away with it. He plays it across to P.J. Stock, full head of steam. Puck gets up ahead of him. Graham bats it away. all the way out to neutral ice, and with a full head of steam, P.J. Stock took full advantage of the net and took it right off. It's Marsh pegs. It comes back out to neutral ice.
Well, Stock was going hard to the net from the left side, got a long pass. Brandon Smith had to hustle himself back to place himself in position. But one of the things Brandon Smith can do is skate, and he skates Stock right off the play, allows Graham enough room to clear the puck, and Stock knocks the cage off. Brandon Smith makes up a lot of distance. Captain of the Providence Bruins, and just very, very impressed with the way he plays the game, and certainly did nothing to hurt himself anytime he went up to play with the Boston Bruins.
Now, and with expansion coming, we've been talking about it. Defensemen are always at a premium in the NHL. Brandon Smith has got a bright future as he continues to improve. 26 years old in his 6th year of pro hockey. Spent most of the beginning of his pro career in the AHL ranks for the Detroit Red Wings. A little different cracking the Detroit lineup than it is cracking a lot of other lineups. Chris Kennedy brought it in at the blue line, but the Bruins able to get control. They bring it out to the far wall. Traffic there. It comes back to Bremanis. Eris Bremanis up to the near side. Kept in. Doig fires one, and it comes through to Graham, and he makes the stop. I don't know if that was redirected or not, but either way, the screen made it a tough save for Graham.
Yeah, dangerous kind of play because Bremanis fired around the boards, coming out to the left side, and what happened was Vandermeer couldn't get the puck along the boards. See, when you're the left wing here and the defenseman fires it around, you can't let that defenseman get control of the puck. The puck gets by Vandermeer, gets out on the point, and there's a shot. Good job on the inside there by Malhotra. Malhotra disturbed Vandermeer, so he wasn't able to prevent that puck from getting to Doig.
Andre Savage has 3 game-winning goals this playoff run. Last year, he only got to play but 5 games in the postseason as his team won the Cup. He wasn't much of an active part of that. He was out there for the last couple of games in the finals, but he got injured in the first round. This year, he's happy to be able to see this all the way through after a great year in Boston. Virtue keeps it in, blocked by Ferraro, comes out to neutral ice. Vital over to Terry Virtue, quick pass ahead. Derek Armstrong has some room. He fires one to the right side. Smith got back and got a piece of it. Brandon Smith breaking up that bid and forcing it wide. Eric Nicholas, the chip out to center. Vital loves it down. Comes back into the Bruins end. Nicholas up ahead for Ferraro. He tried to leave it up for Savage. Broken up. Vital can't carry it as Savage tries to send in Ferraro just out of his reach. Terry Virtue there. Off the glass and out through neutral ice. Bob Beers hustling back. Bob Beers starts up ice now. Quick pass ahead. Manlow at the blue line. Reels it in traffic. Fires the backhand on net. Save man. Rebound. Sits out of the right wing circle. Manlow in the corner now. Knocked down. Battling with Klocek. Daw able to get it up but not out now the way the Hartford Wolfpack will get it out to center ice. Brad Smith, S-M-Y-T-H. No relation to Brandon Smith, S-M-I-T-H. Jeff Wells fired it in. Wilson trying to reel it in. Bouncy puck there in the slot. Todd Hall happy to clear. Dwayne Harmer trying to reel it in on the run. Now gets back after taking it from the goaltender Graham. 2.5 minutes gone here in overtime. Game 7. X-Goal wins the series. Hall gets it out to center ice. Stock set up there. No icing called on a nice play by Stock to set up at the center stripe. Hollinger up to the far side. Jeremy Brown over center. Fires one wide. Rebound off the end boards. Downey tried to get after it. It comes out to neutral ice. Jeremy Brown trying to keep it away from Chris Wells. Got it up ahead looking for Perpick. And it will be icing. No, the Bruins get in there and get a piece of it. Nice effort down there as Aaron Downey hustled in. Kennedy trying to lead the charge. Flips it up ahead. Here's Drew Bannister. Bannister pulls it in, fires the shot. It's wide. Graham out in traffic. Puck loose in front. It sits out at the edge of the crease. And Aaron Downey carries away to center. Downey flips it up ahead, trying to dance in after it. Malhotra back there got a piece of it. Now he's checked by Ferraro. Ferraro behind the net. Peter Ferraro takes it over. Right wing circle. Ferraro lost the edge as he tried to cut back. Doig followed the play and knocked it off the stick.
Well, I tell you, Chris Wells is going to be seeing that one in front of John Graham when he goes night-night tonight, because that was all alone. Nobody in the nets. Wells had it right in front and just couldn't get his stick on it. The puck just wasn't where he needed it to be. to be able to get a shot off. Good opportunity for Hartford. They come in the zone. Excellent pressure as they come in the zones. Bannister gets the original shot up now. Graham gets caught in behind. Here comes Wells. Whiffs on that original shot. Never gets a piece of the puck at all. Let's watch it again. You'll see his first attempt. Puck's going to sit there. We can't quite see it, but he missed it. Ooh.
John Graham, we talked about sometimes ranging out. That time he didn't range far, but there's a lot of traffic right there.
He might have ranged bad. 16-13 remaining. Very wide open first 3 minutes of change.
Usually equate overtime.
No.
Conservative hockey has not been the case. Scrum on the wall here, kept in at the point. Now in a second effort, poked out by Bob Beers. Can't control it. Vitahall takes it in. Johan Vitahall sends it wide to the corner. Savage, rink-wide pass to the near side. Ferraro into the offensive zone. Drops it back for Beers. Beers sending it for Ferraro. Broken up in front. Ferraro doesn't have much room, but he has the puck. Peter Ferraro behind the net. Gets it up to the right side. Shot save made. LaVey rebound to Brandon Smith. Now Nicholas through a crowd. Knocked down by Virtue. Ferraro after it behind the net. Taken away by Jernander. He will clear.
Boy, they had guys in deep that time. Only one guy out at the point. That's going for the win, but you have to be careful that you don't give the guys a break the other way. Watch out.
Accident from the wall. Fires one and LaVey holds on.
That last series, Tommy, Boston had 4 guys inside the hash mark trying to end the hockey game, and they almost did, but you have to be careful. A great scrum around. Nobody could get a real good shot at it with LaVey. Count the black and gold jerseys. There's 4 of them inside the hash mark. Working it, and finally gets cleared out. Everybody inside.
Antti Laaksonen fired that last shot from the wall. Last year, he scored an overtime goal against Hartford. That came in that second round sweep. It came with just 10.8 seconds left in regulation to tie it up and force the overtime.
Stock's taking a lot of big face-offs for them. He has another one here. Has not lost many face-offs tonight. That's been a nice move for them. He's taken a bunch, and he's won a bunch.
He'll go up against Manlow here, ties him up, and gets it back to Puritan. Flipped out to center ice. Bremanis is there. Slides it across for Hollinger. Hollinger the pass up the wall. Wilson has to get out of traffic. He does, and flips it in. Batted up ahead by Manlow, onside. Puritan in the corner. Has it go off the side of Landon Wilson. Right across the goal mouth after it deflected off Wilson. Dog. Flip clear out to center here. Bremanis turns away. He gets the pass up ahead. 6-1. The Bruins out shooting the Wolfpack here in overtime. Manlow gets it back. No offside call.
No, because it's knocked in
from the
Hartford
player.
Right.
Crowd didn't understand, didn't like it. Jason Daw up to the blue line, dumps it in around the left wing corner. Dwayne Harmer behind his own net for Providence. 5:45 gone in sudden death overtime. Sudden death for the series. Game 7 of this best of 7 Eastern Conference Final. Left side, Kennedy sends it on net. Graham now will reach out and cover up. Manis protecting his goaltender as Malhotra was coming in looking for a piece of the rebound.
You guys are in overtime.
Yeah, you're right.
You hear that?
Yeah.
You guys are in overtime. Use your heads. Tim Peel, the referee. Solomon's wisdom behind the net.
He's done a great job, and he's exactly right. You know, you don't want to put the official has let you play, and you don't want to put the official in a position where he starts making calls that affect the outcome of the game because you're making mistakes. So this is an outstanding job by the entire officiating crew. Good sense of the flow of the game and what to call. You know, there may have been some things they missed, but there's been nothing that has had an impact on a goal-scoring chance that they've missed, and I think they've done a great job. One of the best, you couldn't ask for a better officiated playoff game.
Trying to come in the left wing circle to the right of Graham. 6 minutes gone in OT. Doig dumps into the left corner. Graham out to play again. Plays it up on the wall. He gets all the way through to Peter Vandermeer. At the blue line, Bob Beers with some steam here up to the blue line. Knocked off his stick and sent back into the Bruins' end.
It's very hard to carry the puck through that. When they set up in center zone and have enough time to set their center zone defense up. It's very hard to carry the puck through that. You can dump it in, but it's hard to get through it.
Pass broken up at center ice. Doig to the offensive zones. Jason Doig flips it for Armstrong. Centering pass across the goal mouth. Chris Kennedy one step off the pace.
A little bit behind.
Here's Jeremy Brown from center ice. Glove there by LaBay. He holds on. So Brown sends it on net, and the Bruins get an offensive zone draw.
Patience and nerves are getting frayed out there. There's a little bit of there's almost a little pushing and shoving after every whistle. 13-19 remaining in first overtime. Game 4 went to 2. Looked like it was going to go to 3.
There was that disallowed goal. It wasn't a goal. It went through the side of the net in the second overtime. Hartford, Tony Tuzzolino put it in through the netting. For a couple of moments, it looked like the game was over. The right call was made. The goal did not go on the board. And the Bruins went on to win on Jeff Wells' second goal of the game. Savage will step in to battle for the draw. Doig wins it, but the Bruins keep it in. Shot from Hollinger is blocked as it came through. On the near side, it's played out to center ice. Up to the blue line now, chopped away there to the far side. A couple of bodies flying, no whistle. Armstrong in neutral ice. Puts it through near side, Terry Virtue. Flips it over left side now for Manis. Taken from the goaltender, Graham. Puck sits there, Hollinger in to help out. Terry Hollinger plays it up the far side. Ken Jernander got a piece of it. Graham again back to play. Again, the puck came out in front, but Hartford unable to convert. Hollinger lost the stick, it broke, threw it down. Now he'll try to tie up the man. Disadvantage here for the Bruins as Hollinger is without a stick. Puck given away. Shot comes in through a screen. Save made by Graham. Rebound, Virtue centers on the skate and scores! Hartford wins it in overtime. It went off Peter Ferraro. The Wolfpack advances to the Calder Cup Finals. In their third year of existence, are going to the Calder Cup Finals with an overtime win in Game 7. Providence loses a series for the first time under Peter Laviolette. Swept through the first round, swept through the second round, and are beaten here in OT as they announce the 3 stars. J.F. LaBay certainly getting credit.
Guess who'll be first star?
46 save night.
You got a guess?
I'm guessing that maybe the former Bruin gets the call. Brad Smith, the number 2 star. He had 2 goals. You will hear an eruption in a moment when the Game 7 hero, Terry Virtue, the number 1 star.
What a great night to win a game in front of a big crowd like this at the Civic Center. This team has had some difficulty catching on down here in terms of the big crowds. And a lot of people say it's some disappointment with the Hartford team leaving and a lot of other factors. But the kind of game that they played here tonight with a huge win in front of this 10,000 plus crowd, this is the kind of game that can really establish a team in the hearts of its fans in Hartford.
It happened in Albany. The River Rats won a championship. They became a solid member of the American Hockey League. It happened in Portland. The Pirates won in their first season. Certainly last year's Cup has really improved the following in Providence for the Bruins. And now they get a big crowd of 10,000 plus in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they open up the Calder Cup Finals here at the Civic Center on Wednesday.
With hopefully another huge crowd. You know, this is a good hockey town. It stayed with the Hartford Whalers for a long, long time, and there's a great core of hockey fans down here in Hartford, and I'm telling you something, they showed up tonight. And they rooted these Hartford Wolfpack on to a win, and a great effort by the Providence Bruins. They had the advantage in overtime. They had an advantage shots on goal. They had the advantage in quality chances. But the Hartford Wolfpack got the one quality chance that counted. A Vita Hall backhander, a deflection, saved by Graham, and then a Virtue throw to the front of the net, knocked in.
So the Calder Cup Finals, now a best-of-7 series, begins, as we said, at the Hartford Civic Center. Hartford, with the regular season championship and 107 points, has home ice advantage. Games 1 and 2, Wednesday and Friday here at the Civic Center in Hartford. Then it heads off to Rochester. Game 3 will be on Sunday at the Pepsi Center. Not sure of the remaining series dates as they work out the final dates, but we are relatively sure that this is the way the series will begin. The first 2 games here at the Hartford Civic Center. Hartford is now 5-0. 5 times they have faced elimination. 5 times they win to play another day. We'll be back with more. An overtime win in Game 7. The Wolfpack advances to the Calder Cup Finals for the first time ever. Welcome back to the Hartford Civic Center in Hartford, Connecticut. The Wolfpack at home before a crowd of 10,623. With an overtime win in Game 7, they win the best-of-7 series, 4-3, winning the last 3 games of the series. The former Bruin Terry Virtue is the hero with the game-winning goal. He joins us from downstairs. Terry, just a heck of a game. Talk a little about the effort of the Wolfpack to win 3 straight and win this series.
Well, it was unbelievable. I mean, we knew we were in all 4 games, except for maybe Game 2, and we knew we could have won any one of them, and we could have had this series earlier. And it's just unbelievable. Although, the character we have in that room, it's something that's been there all year, and we've been working on it, and we had the confidence to win.
Terry, take us through the goal now. A lot of times these things happen in overtime, off a bounce, off a rebound, and sure enough, that's what happened here.
Yeah, for sure. I just, I just saw the rebound come out, and I knew I had a couple guys going to the net, and I think I tried hitting Jernander on the side of the net there, and I think it went off one of their players' skates. I think Farrell said it was his, and it was just a lucky bounce. But I mean, you get those in overtime, and we knew if you threw it at the net, it might go in. So. It just happened to go in, and it was a nice break for me.
Terry, I thought in the third period, Johan Vidahall had a number of chances. It really played big for you, and it was his backhander that set that play in motion. It seems when he's got that puck on his stick, it's like glue. He makes big plays for you.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's he's a great player, great skater, good stick handler. When he goes in that hard, it's important for our team. He missed the worst, the Worcester series because of his hand, but he's really came back. I know it still bothers him a little bit, but he's been fighting through it, and he's a big key to the series, and he really helps us.
Terry, 7.5 months ago, you stood at the Civic Center. You got your ring with the other team, and now here you're going to get a chance to go to the finals. Talk about what's going through your head right now.
It's a great opportunity. I told I just told the guys. I said, it'll be the best feeling in your life when you win, and that's what we got to look forward to. It's going to be a tough one against Rochester. They've been waiting for a week or two, and it's it's going to be hard, but it'll be fun. That's where I was last year, and. I told the guys it'd be nice to beat them again, too. It's, I know there's a guy in here, Mike Carter, that would love to beat him, too. He was there last year, so maybe he can be the hero next series.
Yeah, you become a good luck charm. In addition to being a great player, you're like a Calder Cup good luck charm.
Oh, maybe for sure. Can I say hi to some people back home?
You sure can. Say hi to everybody.
Say hi to my dad and my brothers and that in Stony Plain. I know they have some buddies watching. They watch when the games are on Nesson. And, hi back in Stony Plain, Alberta, and Smoky Lake, Alberta. It's good to win. It's nice
great player. He made a great play to win the game.
Terry, I want to ask you one question real quickly.
Yep.
A couple of times with Worcester, you faced final games. You lost both of those. Now twice, you guys, actually 5 times now, you faced elimination and come back. What's that say about this team? I mean, this team doesn't die, does it?
No, it's unbelievable. I faced these guys a couple years ago with Worcester, and in Game 7, and they came out hard and blew us out here. So I had a good feeling coming into this game. I knew Hartford was. I knew the guys were here to play and here to win, and that's that's good for us here.
All right, Terry Virtue, congratulations. Good luck in the finals.
Thanks, Tom. All
right, that's Terry Virtue with us. He is the hero, and again, you can't ask for more than overtime in Game 7. Full credit, of course, to Peter Laviolette's team. A heck of a season. They went through a lot of adversity. They went, within a goal a couple of times of putting the series away.
Well, I'll tell you, Providence had a great series, great season, coming back from really what was a great end of the season, coming back from a tough year, but when you score the goal and an outstanding American Hockey League player like Terry Virtue, you can say hello to everybody in Stony Plain you want to. So, hi, folks in Stony Plain. Your kid came up big tonight.
And they will love him here in Hartford tomorrow morning. He will be the name in the headline. Yeah, in Providence last year. Congratulations to John Paddock's team. They go on to take on Brian McCutcheon's Rochester Americans in the Calder Cup Finals. It begins here on Wednesday night.